probably seen it. Cause I think like when I was a kid, I would eat macaroni and cheese like every day. I never got tired of it.
Never got tired of it?
Never got tired of it.
So you had it every day and never got tired. But can you have it now?
Probably.
Yeah? Have you had it now?
Not a long time.
Why? If it's your favorite thing in the world.
Well, when I was a kid.
What changes?
What changes?
What would be your favorite thing now?
I don't know.
Like every day you can eat every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I ate ramen cups for a while for every day, not because I had to, because budget. Budget.
Oh, budget. Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Well, but it's different. Though. You had to, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
But even with that, you could add a little bit seasoning and stuff like that.
So again,
you put 2 packets.
2 packets. Yeah. But then you're left with extra macaroni to not do anything with.
I keep hearing that. I have to try that still.
Yeah.
You put.
We found the flaw in this, didn't we? Your phone's not gonna be able to hold that. It's gonna be boof every 10 seconds, isn't it?
No, yeah. Hold on.
Ready?
Got it.
Got it.
Okay, so eating your favorite thing forever or not being able to eat it?
Yeah.
Not being able to eat it.
Not being able to eat it. I don't know. Eating it forever would probably be my hell.
What's your favorite thing though?
I have no idea. I eat everything though. That's the thing. Well, I guess if everything I could eat every day, a taco, easy. Just meat.
Okay, but is it
you
the
never
same?
get tired of a taco.
An asada taco every day. I would get tired of it.
You can't change the meat though.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly right. That would be hell.
I'd be all right with
It's
that.
my favorite thing, and I would eat it every day, and I'd be tired of it eventually. You know, and I'd be like, this is hell.
I guess.
You know, it reminds me of that one Twilight Zone episode where the guy
wants to read.
No. Everyone goes back to that one. No,
it's classic.
It's a bank robber. He goes in and robs a bank or something and gets shot or gets killed or something. But then he ends up, oh shoot, he's with St. Peter or whatever. You know, he's on the other side. He's on the other side, and then this other side, he goes gambling and he wins all the time. And then he goes around. I want to rob a bank. Oh, cool. They let him rob a bank. It becomes really easy for him to rob a bank. So he's like, what the fuck is going on? This is all too easy for me. This can't be heaven. He goes, who said this was heaven? It was his hell. Having everything he wanted to easily given it to him is not what he wanted. You know?
You see, I'd be fine with that. I'd be perfectly. The taco thing, the only flaw I would say if they don't give me a salsa or there's no like condiments to put on it, then I'd be like, okay, it's just the meat over and over. But if you give me some grilled onions or rabanos, the whole works, I could eat that for the rest of my life. Every day.
Just as long as you had the condiments.
Yeah. Because then it's perfect and it's my favorite.
And what if one day you want something weird like banana peppers on it?
I love banana peppers, but I don't put them on my taco.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there, because you get tired of the same old that you want all of a sudden want banana peppers on it. You don't know? Or you want a pico de gallo that's not too gallo, you know?
Nah, I don't like pico.
No, yeah. You don't like pico de gallo? Oh. Worst Mexican ever.
Hey.
That was me, right? That's my title.
Yeah.
Pico de gallo. Dude, if you go to Mexico, they're not going to give you tacos with pico de gallo.
No, of course not. You know what? They just get cilantro and cebolla. That's it, yeah. But here's the thing. The pico de gallo, it has the 3 main colors of Mexico.
That's something that people made to make it healthier.
What makes it healthy?
Yeah, tomatoes.
Tomatoes aren't healthy.
think it's healthier.
Oh.
The fruit.
Therefore, I don't eat them.
Do you eat fruit? Do you eat tomatoes?
I don't like tomatoes.
You eat tomatoes? You don't eat tomatoes. You eat tomatoes?
Tomato is good, but it's bad for testosterone, so it actually lowers your testosterone.
What the hell?
I haven't had a tomato in like 40 years. I'm like that.
Your testosterone. So, I had 2 today.
That's why they call you Mr. T.
Yeah, apparently.
I pity the fool who eats the tomatoes.
T for tomato and testosterone.
Mr. Double T?
Double T? That's weird. No, never mind.
Start calling him Mr. Double T.
Don't do it.
If people ask you why, you tell them exactly why.
Double T.
He's full of testosterone.
Pete, Mr. Double T.
Yeah.
No.
Start spelling your name that way. It was 2 T's.
2 T's.
2 T's. So anyway, we're like halfway through the show, and episode 69 of ComiCentric.
Hey-o.
Anyway, guys, how are you guys?
We're doing great.
Yeah, for people just joining us, we have the team of Gordo again here in our so-called studio.
Yeah, it's a studio.
It's a studio. Valeria, Miguel, and Pete.
Yeah.
Back together in one room again.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you guys here?
Conquer the world.
Oh.
Oh, we're here to talk about
Uh-huh.
issue number 3 of Gordo the Teenage Flying
That's
Saucer.
impossible. That doesn't exist yet.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. How can we talk about it if it hasn't existed yet?
Well, it's coming to Kickstarter pretty soon. So.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Technically
Gasp?
today.
Audible gasp?
Yeah.
Today?
Technically today, right?
Yes.
This is when it,
When it airs?
when it airs.
So when you hear this, go over to Kickstarter
Mm-hmm.
and help us fund our comic.
And help them fund their comic. Okay, well, I mean, it was about a year ago, I would say.
Almost.
That you
It was
guys did for number
it was
2?
November?
A little bit less than a year.
Less than a year, November. And that was down to the wire. That was pretty hair raising as it was. That,
Yes.
you know, so I mean, knowing that, why the fuck are you guys gonna do this shit again?
Otherwise, we'll never finish the story. We gotta try.
Oh.
We gotta
Get
try to
out
finish
there.
the story.
So this is more for the book to keep going, to
Keep
keep
going.
the engines going.
Yeah.
Keep going. We gotta keep building momentum.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's it. Momentum.
Momentum. I mean, we think there's an audience. I mean, we had the Gordo 65. You know,
Right,
we did have 65 backers on the first campaign.
Okay.
Thank
We're looking to
you
break
so
that.
much. Yeah.
So again, if you're one of the 65 people that supported the comic the first time around, hopefully you come back.
Let's go for 66.
Let's go for 66.
Mhm. You know what?
69,
69,
75, 100.
All right.
We got to reach those benchmarks.
369.
Yeah. That's a good number.
That's
Hey,
a great number.
That's a lot of people.
That's,
we would be happy if we could do that. We will at some point.
Yeah, 369 people will be reading your book at one point in life,
Yes.
conquering the world one at a time,
yeah.
one page at a time. Right? Well, I mean, to you people still listening, you heard them. Go do it now. Pause it right now.
Yes,
Pause
if
it.
you're
Go-
still listening.
Yeah,
yes.
pause it. We'll wait. We'll wait. And we're back. You guys gotta make sure you put in that money in there, right? Okay, if you didn't stop listening, you're not allowed to listen any further. Honestly, put in, at least $1. Yeah.
At least $1, yeah.
So anyway, that's the big news.
Uh,
Can we talk about number 2 while we're here?
yeah.
What the fuck's up with that ending?
What happened at the end?
Dude,
Remind us.
okay. The mom
Uh-huh.
is with the fucking working for these people all the whole time.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a cliffhanger, man.
You know what? That was actually going to be the
Yeah.
ending to issue 1.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Originally, it was going to be the ending to issue 1.
That would have been a going too.
But then it just made more sense to, do it later on.
Okay.
But yeah, that was always the plan.
All right.
And it's funny too because there's people that have been messaging me, like
Uh-huh.
they read both of them,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's set up in issue 1." Like she gets a phone call and the whole,
Yeah.
so it's there. Like it's
And she's a doctor.
Yeah.
You don't know what kind of doctor she
Yeah.
is, I'm like, oh, she's a vet. Oh, yeah, vet of strange animals and shit. Outer space.
outer space.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a cliffhanger that I'm surprised a lot of people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, again, it was good setup to the
Yeah.
point where no one kind of expected it. Not, oh, it's just another reason for her to get off screen,
Yeah.
to get out of the way,
Yeah.
while he does his, Gordo does his thing.
Mhm.
But no, it actually turned out to be an actual thing.
Mhm.
So can we expect that in issue number 3 when that comes out?
Yeah, there's some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff.
There's some cool stuff.
We get into it a little bit more, right?
Into that.
I think not to 5, right? Where we really get into
Uh-huh.
finding out, what that entails.
5? Wait a minute, there's a 4 somewhere. What the hell?
4, it's
Well,
coming.
I think.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I think Pete and I have at least mentally plotted
Mm-hmm.
how many issues did you
Like
say? A lot.
50.
At least 50. We have ideas. Of course,
Uh-huh.
we have to sit down, structure them, and put them in a cohesive script. And then, of course, V's got to do her thing on
Okay.
it. But, we got a lot of ideas. I think, from the get-go, we always wanted to do, the best comics, at least, sequential superhero comics are
Right.
always, everything's interconnected. And I think some of the best comics ever, leave you with a great cliffhanger,
Yeah.
want you to read
Yeah.
the next issue. So, we're going to try. We can't promise that we're going to have a WTF cliffhanger
Every
every
time.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
of
we're
course
always
not.
going to try to leave you wanting more, right?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the part that people, the fact that the people are asking more could definitely be good for this next upcoming issue. But even though there's a 4 that has no plot apparently, but 5 does.
No, it's there.
It's there.
We have the first arc. We have the
Okay.
first
Yeah,
arc
yeah, yeah.
plotted out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you say you streamline them? You have 50 stories, but there are only 5
Well,
streamlined?
I don't know if we have 50 stories,
No,
but I think we have enough material to do at least 50 issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because we have so many characters and we already have the names of certain arcs. We have the idea of where we want the story to go. We just got to sit down and actually write those scripts, right?
Okay.
And then also, again, like I said, it also comes down to V, because I think V is such an important component here, a fellow co-creator on Gordo, is that, sometimes Pete and I will write a script, we'll hand it off to V. V does her thing with her layouts, her paneling, and the structure is going to change.
Right.
So like we said, originally that cliffhanger with the mom was going to be issue number 1 cliffhanger, but what V delivered was equally as strong, so we decided to hey, let's go with what V had, and then we rearranged the story accordingly. So
pushing it from the end of 1, pushing it all the way to the end of
absolutely.
2. That is a nice little stretch, if you will.
Well, because it also felt like it was too much. It was you were setting up this world, and then you give that cliffhanger at the end of issue 1. Yeah, it'd be like,
you know what? That would have been a good cliffhanger for the end of the freaking first arc, if you will.
Yeah,
that would have been a big what the hell.
That just means there's more what the hell moments.
Well, I also think if you kind of look at the first issue, I don't know how strong it would have been to have the issue 1 end with the mom and the revelation, since it is a Gordo comic, right? Gordo and Cece are the main characters of the book. She's a secondary character, so I don't know how strong that would have been as an ending for the first issue.
And the ending version was fun. It was a monkey with a ray gun.
Yeah.
That was a fun ending. The first I read them, that's fun.
Yeah, I really like that ending too, because he just explain how bad it is, and he just wakes up and he's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
Like nothing. Yeah, like nothing. It's hilarious. But yeah. Well, anyway, that's so far what we're gonna expect. What else can we expect from this new Kickstarter that we're just kicking off today? Apparently.
What are we getting? We're getting variant covers. By Javier Hernandez.
Who's that?
This guy.
Who is Javier Hernandez? He's a legendary cartoonist, creator of Al Muerto.
Celebrating his 25th
anniversary. So, again, it made sense to ask him, right? Again, we're really looking forward to people to kind of check out that variant.
Yeah. I saw it. It's.
What do you think?
I'm a big fan of Mr. Ed Wood.
For those that haven't seen it yet, can you describe it?
You ever seen Plan 9 From Outer Space?
Absolutely, one of the greatest movies ever made. I don't care what anyone says.
It felt like I was Glenn that were watching a comic book. Plan 9 From Outer Space, featuring your characters on there. It was weird.
Yeah.
You know what? It felt like someone put a sticker of a Gordo and a Muerto on top of Plan 9 From Outer Space cover, a DVD or some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And Plan 9 is public domain, so if we ever wanted to do an adaptation, a crossover, we could, Pete.
Okay.
That's true.
Let's go ahead and do that.
At least let us finish the first arc. The first arc, and then we'll see if we can do a crossover.
Imagine Gordo going through the shit in Plan 9. It was about aliens. You ever seen Plan 9 From Outer Space? It looked like you didn't, because you looked like you're confused. There's this director called Ed Wood. He's basically the guy who made sci-fi movies a thing, if you will, because he had cheap effects. He would be movies a thing. Sorry, he made cheap effects. He made movies on that budget, and it worked. And
it's kind of weird. And
he was a cross-dresser. He loved wearing women's clothes. And that was in to each his own, right, dude? Fuck yeah. Hey, he said something like, "Oh, dude, it's just so comfortable wearing this stuff. It's not because I want less of a man. It's just I feel very comfortable in this. That's it. Yeah. Something to be said about that. Some of those sweaters, huh? Anyway,
Very curious.
You ever seen the Johnny Depp movie? The
Ed Wood?
I never watched the Ed Wood.
Oh man,
that's what it's about. It's a true story. Well, true story.
Quote unquote. Bill Murray's in it.
Yeah.
The illustrious Bill Murray. Who else is in it? Just Sarah Jessica Parker's in it. Bela Lugosi's in it. Oh wait, no.
No,
But yeah, he was. Ed Wood was friends with Bela Lugosi towards the end of his life. When people forgot about him, he was the only one that still cared about him. So he would put him in his movies as a fucking background character or as a main character.
But that was sort of Tim Burton too. He became with Vincent Price.
Vincent Price,
in his life too. Yeah.
For those of you that can't see, V's getting emotional right now.
It's a trip.
Sweet.
Yeah, I recommend it. Recommend it?
I recommend highly, of course. I love B pictures. I love B movies, so definitely Ed Wood's really cool. Roger Corman is one of my favorite. What's his name? Larry Kaufman.
Larry Kaufman.
The Trauma films are really cool.
I mean, it was a really good idea too that he picked that because I mean, when we first started talking about Gordo, it was very B movie. It was very like the early talks was like it was
very B movie.
Yeah.
Well, you got flying saucers and spaceships.
And blue monkey with a ray gun.
Yeah, I think definitely like the DNA of like Gordo is definitely like B picture, like very pulpy even, very kind of like silly, the silly stuff that we would see like in the Golden Age, even silly stuff we see in the Silver Ages. I think what we're trying to incorporate into the comic. Right?
Was that the camp? I know the people always say camp. Yeah.
Campy?
Yeah,
I think there's a level of camp to Gordo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do hope, or at least we're trying to still make it a modern comic. Something that's relatable, but kind of cherry picking from these different kind of genres and time periods that we like to kind of make it its own thing. I think.
Yeah.
Shit, that's always freaking hard. I've always thought about like when writers write things. They always reference stuff that they know and hope that their audience also know, right? Because what if sometimes, like, if someone's not going to know, example V, they know Plan 9 for Outer Spaces. What do you think of Javier's cover when you first saw it?
I really liked it.
Yeah?
But I really like his style.
Okay, but what did you see? I mean, the characters, what the ones that are in the back, who were they to you?
I mean, they had some similarities to like the old horror ones.
Yeah, like Elvira,
Dracula. Yeah. But I know it wasn't exactly those characters.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
and then the colors are really nice.
It's a classic Javier.
Yeah.
Well, I think the cool thing about like the cover that you'll all see on the Kickstarter, the Javier variant, like you look at those Ed Wood characters, they're kind of like archetype horror characters. So even if you don't know who the character is, like V said, like you can be like, oh, that's kind of like an Elvira type of hostess, kind of vampire woman character. So you can definitely still get like that vibe and energy off of it. So I think that's the cool thing about it.
Well, that guy, the bald one, the wrestler,
the
wrestler,
bald guy,
his face was a mask. Yeah. And he was a ghoul for the longest time. People would buy that mask to be a ghoul, and that was his real face. And I like that he put, I don't know, I shouldn't be describing it, but I like that he put Bela Lugosi covered. Because he died at one point, and then whenever they would bring him out, there'd be some substitute covering his face like that, pretending to be him.
Those little Easter eggs that you will notice, but if you don't know, it doesn't take away from the enjoyment. But if you do know the history, it's like, oh, that's a pretty cool little touch that Javier put on the cover of the comic.
Also, I'm always a fan of covers with word bubbles.
Oh, that's
I love covers with word bubbles.
Well, I mean, what are those called? Like story covers or dialogue covers? I've always wanted to make comics with like word bubbles, like you said. I think those are fun. The only thing that I didn't like about the dialogue or the word balloons on covers is that they're always misleading. It's like you read the comic expecting
I'm gonna die if you don't read this comic.
Exactly, and then it's like has nothing to do with the cover, but what they're always
kind of is what's on here.
So again, we apologize if you expect those characters to be in the book. They're not. But again, maybe we will do a crossover one day.
Fingers crossed.
There you go. Fingers crossed. Public domain.
It's public domain. You can totally do it. A one shot done. A Gordo meets Ed Wood.
That would be fun.
California. He comes in for a vacation. They're filming a movie. They meet the director. He gets involved somehow. Comedy ensues. Done.
There it is.
Hey, you want to come on as a co-writer on this? You're kind of helping us out with the plot here. So.
It writes itself. I'm not saying I'm a writer. Lord knows I'm no writer.
Everyone can write. Cruz.
Everyone can write, but there's levels.
Yeah, that's true.
Sub kindergarten here.
Oh, and just so no one worries, let's get it out of the way. Pete and I are not going to employ AI writing in the comic. Just so you know, it's a little disclaimer.
Dude, the world's on fire because of that shit, dude.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't know.
Are you on strike?
I'm not on strike.
Oh,
I'm not in the Writers Guild or the Actors Guild, but it does make sense, why would you push a technology that's going to take literally thousands of jobs away from artisans? Even if the technology exists, right? Yeah. You kind of take away the humanity of it. Like, I don't know if AI will ever advance to, at least in our lifetime, if it will advance to the point where it's like they can tap into like real human emotional stories. Yeah. But even then, why would you do that? You know?
Because it's easy, and we like to take the easy way out.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
As a species, we're very lazy. We've become very lazy.
That's very true.
You know.
I saw a meme that was like, oh, can't AI, get all the plastic out of the ocean, or does they all have to be screenwriters?
I mean, hey, that's a very smart question. You know? If we do use AI, you know, I think it'd be smarter to use it like in things that are more difficult to solve. You know, world hunger, pollution, stuff like that.
Yeah. Getting a freaking deodorant that lasts more than 12 hours.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Time machine,
you know, build as well.
So if you ask the AI, hey, can you build me a time machine? It can build you a time machine.
Maybe that'd be cool.
You want to go? Let's go.
Well, have you heard that theory where people sometimes ask like these like AI apps like what time is it, and they usually get the time wrong, and some people say that it's because we're in a time paradox, like we're in some type of time loop.
That's
so it's not that possibly the time travel has already been discovered, but AI usually has the trouble like answering definitively what time it is. So for instance, right now it could be 9 p.m. at night, but we ask an AI app what time is it, they'll say it's 7:45, they'll say it's 11, right? So again, I don't know, I think it's interesting.
It's
so I don't know what to think
entanglement.
about it. Possibly, yeah.
It's because of that shit. We're living in a place where technology is so far ahead of us. It might be 11 o'clock for the technology when we're still at 9, you know?
Possibly.
You know,
I think that's the interesting thing as well, you know? I know we see all these movies and TV shows about multiverse and frequencies and vibrations and, you know,
they're just getting us ready. They're just getting us ready.
It's so fucking weird. We've been talking about doing multiverse comics for like years.
20 years.
And all of a sudden it's a thing now. Like it's so popular now.
Well, I mean, Crisis on Infinite Earth, you know, remember that shit? To me, that blew my mind. I'm like, there's more than one, you know?
And that was just an editorial thing. Like we need to explain why this Batman is different than that Batman.
And before stuff like that was, you know, and you wouldn't have multiverse. You had your evil side. Yeah. It would be mirror. Yeah, it would be a mirror fucking situation. Yeah. You know?
Now the multiverse is everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like in all, like, not all, but it's in a lot of TV shows now, like non-superhero stuff, like kind of different timelines, you know, different lives.
I mean, I guess like Lost kind of like, you know, set the groundwork for that.
Yeah, but you know, it definitely was had like a comic book vibe to that show, right? I mean, Brian K. Vaughan worked on that show, right? Damon Lindelof is a comic book guy, you know, so I'm sure he kind of was aware of like.
By the way, that's what I'm looking for. Like, I mean, it sucks that the strike is going on, but are those guys gonna come back to comics?
Can they? Are they allowed to?
Okay. It's not the same thing, right?
It should be a different industry, right? Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't have the definitive answer, but that would be cool if they did. Yeah. You know, I mean, Brian K. Vaughan, one of my favorite writers. I do like Damon Lindelof. I think he's pretty good. When you get him on miniseries, not like not ongoings, right?
That's interesting. So now they have an option to come back to write comics at least.
But I kind of feel you can tell me better, Pete. You have nostalgic books and comics in San Gabriel Valley, right? You might want to check it out. Come and support the shop when you can. But you know,
what was that name again?
Nostalgic Comics. Nostalgic Comics. Right. I'm thinking about the old shop. I apologize, right?
But a bit nostalgic.
But don't a lot of like TV writers and video game writers write for like DC now, like in the last few years, right?
The video game thing has been big, right? Because didn't what's his name, Ram V come from video games?
Oh yeah, Ram V. I think Ram V's good. I really like Ram V.
Like everything right now, he's doing.
You know,
he's doing like independent stuff now, right? Like,
more independent stuff, but you know, I really think he's a good horror writer. Like he did some Swamp Thing comics for DC.
Is he doing any of the Night Terrors?
No, I don't think he's on any Night Terrors.
I think he's doing Carnage. He was doing Carnage for a little while.
Oh, he's all over the place.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah,
that guy blew up pretty quick.
Though, he blew up really. Yeah, so again, definitely, there's already people coming in from other industries to write comics more so than ever. You know, my big thing is like I want some of those older comic book writers to come back and write some new stories.
And Jeff Johns came back for that the new Golden Age or
miniseries ongoing.
Yeah. I think JSA is ongoing, but I think the other ones are miniseries.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that's how it works.
All right.
Interesting.
Well, we're gonna get a lot of weird movies in the next couple of years. I think like only like indie studios, like A24, a couple
Those are
other,
good.
are the only ones that are making movies right now, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's like already movies that are in the can, so
Yeah.
they're gonna exhaust those out. They're gonna put those out, and then
Are you getting Batgirl?
What was that?
Probably not.
No, I don't know. I don't think you can go back from like canceling it and saying, okay, we have this in the can. Let's just put it out there. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck it, why not?
But I do think that is true. I think it's going to be like a really interesting time for like movies, because I think you're going to see a lot of independent filmmakers like come to prominence. I think you're going to see a lot of smaller studios produce low budget films
And make money.
because big budget movies have lost money in like the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, right?
Really?
So
Dang.
I think it's smarter to kind of scale back to lower budget films that are maybe more unique, and you kind of raise the profit margin just a little bit, right?
Yeah. And so we're going back to kind of like the 90s indie market. Remember when it was just all of a sudden all these indie films started coming out of like Miramax and all these other companies on the left and right?
Because a lot of what's going on right now is that these movies, some of these movies that are failing aren't because they're bad, it's just they were so expensive to make.
Oh, really?
Like Indiana Jones, we were talking about that last time. Like it's doing terrible because it costs more
$1 bajillion
than any Indiana Jones movie ever cost to make.
Well, and it's one of the most expensive Hollywood films of all time. Not
Really?
Just, yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know the exact numbers.
I think I was reading somewhere that like the last one was the most expensive Indiana Jones movie, and this one's almost like double the budget. Yeah.
I think, again, I read different articles. I don't know which one I would believe or kind of put stock in, but I think they said it's like a $300 million budget, and that's not accounting for marketing on top of that.
Oh, right.
So again, just to even break even, a movie like that has to double. Yeah.
Fuck a duck, dude. That is, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't go see it. I feel bad.
It's all right. I went to see it at a discount.
But feeling bad, like you going to see that movie,
Yeah.
you know what it'd be like? Just a drop in the ocean, right? Because it wouldn't have made a big difference,
But
right?
there's my grain, there's my drop,
of course.
I teeter the totter, come on. I'm trying here.
That's true. That's true.
Barbie didn't get my money. Oppenheimer didn't get my money.
Well, they're still in the theater. You might have a chance. You're right.
Indiana Jones isn't there anymore, right?
I think it might be.
Maybe.
Passing in a $3 theater, possibly.
No, is that?
They-
Oh,
They didn't have it there.
It should be.
We
They
went.
don't?
We went yesterday. It's not a $3 theater anymore.
It's like 6 or whatever, right?
It's like a regular theater.
What?
It's cheap, but it's not. It's not a $3 theater. We paid like $7.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
We're
weird.
selling
See,
internals
but they
though.
don't have the
Did
best, like,
did it come out already?
Yeah, well, it came out today.
No, it sucks.
Oh, how was it?
But
It was
for
cool.
$3.
Well, it was
Like,
okay
yeah,
for $3.
let's go,
Yeah,
but I don't know about-
but not 6, 7.
now,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's weird. And then, dude. All right, I'm sorry. I was gonna say shit about this, but that pissed me off, dude. When the guy at the end fucking had his popcorn and was walking out.
This is the best. Okay.
No, it's not the best. It fucking made me mad.
It was one of those moments where like so surreal. There was a guy. Okay, we were watching the Turtles, and the theater was not that crowded. There was like a family, some dude, and some other guy behind us.
And a couple in the front. Yeah.
There was this guy beside us, and he had popcorn, a drink, whatever, and he was enjoying the movie.
Yeah, he was laughing.
He laughed a lot.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, the credits are rolling. He gets up.
No.
And he looks fine. Like, he doesn't look like mad or anything. He gets up, he walks over, and he just like throws his stuff on the floor. Like,
Popcorn everywhere.
Yeah, he just like chucked it on the floor. And the worst part was the trash can was like maybe like 2 feet to the right.
Well, was that in response to the movie, or like was it the
It
scene?
looked like he enjoyed it.
Oh,
Yeah, no idea, dude. No idea. He kind of looked like Pete and like without less.
Are you sure it wasn't Pete?
Like a different version of him, just trying to get our attention.
Other dimension.
Yeah.
And was this right, like at the final scene or during the
No,
credits?
during the credits.
Oh,
Yeah,
during
during
the
the
credits.
credits. The credits. Lights were coming back on and everything, and the guy
gotcha.
just got up and
Decided to throw his popcorn everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
He just chucked it, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got up and I walked over. I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking mess. And I was like, dude, these people have to deal with this shit. I get it, it's a cheap theater, but you don't have to be a cheap piece of shit either.
Right.
You know? When I go to the theater and I drop one kernel popcorn, I'm fucking underneath the chair trying to pick that shit up.
Well, maybe he was just looking out for the workers, and he's like, I want to give them something to do.
Like he actually works there or something. Yeah. You know, he's their manager. And
We were like on a hidden camera
Worse.
Netflix
That makes
thing.
it worse.
yeah. And no one did anything when he threw his popcorn.
We were just like, what the?
Yeah.
Dude, it was funny 'cause I told him about this screening, right? And we went, and he was like, "This is the cheap theater. Dude, we're gonna see the '90s one," and I'm like, "No, that's a new one."
So why was it the cheap theater?
It just
though?
was. No,
It used to be
You gotta
$3.
go,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like an old timey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but so did it cost? How much is the
It's
ticket?
like $7.
Oh,
Yeah,
$7.
now it's $7. Yeah.
Which is not bad.
And the seating arrangement is weird. The projector's on the side, and the seatings are like sideways, and
Yeah.
it goes into the.
So the
Wait,
seat-
They got
where's
different
this theater?
levels.
the Academy.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Academy.
yeah,
I
yeah,
got you.
You never been to the Academy?
Is that the one in Pasadena?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
yeah. Oh, yeah, I've
cheapy
been there. I've
Yeah.
seen so many movies there.
Yeah, they have ghosts there too.
Is that where they used to have the $1 hot dog?
Yeah,
Yeah.
$1.50 now.
Yeah.
Oh, they raised the price.
Yeah, those
I
bastards.
used to go to that movie theater, and I used to buy $1 hot dogs, and I used to wear cargo shorts.
Oh
And
yeah.
I used to just wear them in my cargo. I used to stuff my pockets with the $1 hot dogs.
Yeah. That's a man that thinks. Maybe he won't finish them during the movie. Maybe he'll
Yeah,
finish
take
it
some
after.
home
Yeah,
for dinner, right?
Yeah. $1.50 now. $1.50.
$1.50. Ah, it's a little
Inflation, man.
A little too
Inflation.
steep.
When's the last time you were there? When it was $3.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
Oh, actually, maybe not.
No?
But we used to go, my sister and I, on Wednesdays because they had that.
Oh, the
that,
popcorn, the date night thing?
Yeah, the date night thing.
What is that?
It's like
It's like a
Two
discount.
tickets,
It's
two
two-
popcorn, two sodas for
Yeah.
like $10.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
$5. Okay.
I think it's 20 now.
Oh.
Very shit.
Yeah, it's like double.
You see,
the price.
but then I'd rather just, I don't know.
I mean, $20 you go to a nice theater, but that's yourself only,
Yeah, you're right.
and
you're
the
right.
water, and that's it.
But then you have people throwing the curtain open and
Yeah.
random
Oh yeah, they
people
still have a
running
curtain there.
around. Yeah,
They
they
have
have
a
the
curtain, yeah.
They still have a curtain there.
Yeah.
The dustiest.
What's it?
No, they fixed the
Oh, they fixed
yeah.
it?
that.
Oh, okay.
It's still the same dirty chairs, but it just fixed the carpeting on top of it. It's great.
Nice.
That's what I was telling you. Too, 'cause we were gonna go, and then you could buy tickets online, but they're $7 the tickets, and then they charge you $3 for.
$3.50.
Yeah, you
I mean, that doesn't make sense.
see?
That's like half the
Do
ticket
they
price.
have, can you choose your seat?
Yeah.
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 What?
Now they
See,
can.
That was
there
before.
before.
Discount theater, man.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
But you know what I really liked the most
Huh.
about going to that theater? They had that big old Tapatio pump bottle.
They
for
don't
my
have it.
popcorn.
They don't have it.
No.
They
that
don't
was
have
the
it.
whole reason.
Yeah.
What's the reason
This
now?
big ass fucking thing. It was right in the corner where they had all the
Tapatio,
yeah.
the biggest goddamn, like you don't even need it that big.
No,
like
yeah.
I at one time I was like, they probably don't even clean this out, but I'm slathering my popcorn.
I remember that theater before it became a discount theater. It was an indie movie theater,
Yeah.
and I forgot where I was gonna see that.
No,
but
that
I-
was the other one down the street. No.
No, it was both
That
of them.
same thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I remember calling to get the times, and they were like, "Home of the greatest popcorn in Pasadena."
That's really cool.
Mr. Movie Phone was
Yeah.
on the line with you. You
Yeah.
guys remember Mr. Movie Phone?
Well, you had that popcorn, right?
Yeah.
During that time. Was it the greatest popcorn?
It's alright.
Oh, okay. False advertising.
Alright.
It was not
You could have sued them, you
I
know
could've,
that, right?
As I keep joking about how I want to say, like, we're the greatest comic shop in San Gabriel. No other comic shop.
Yeah,
So
no, you're not lying.
I'm not lying.
You're not lying
that
at
you
all.
know of.
Oh, that's true, too.
That you know of.
That's true.
There could be some hidden freaking little thing in the middle of nowhere selling comic books underneath
San
it.
Gabriel's a small little city.
So you don't know.
The San Gabriel's tiny.
That's the only way you're gonna find out if you claim it and
then
someone
someone
comes out of
comes-
the
oh.
woodwork and be like,
We got to fight.
yeah, of course you gotta
I'm
fight.
down. I mean,
You gotta stake your claim.
that's
Fight,
true.
fight.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's
I've
gonna
never
be
seen
street
you fight in
fight.
my life, but let's fucking see it.
I read a lot of comic books, man. I
Yeah.
know how to fight.
What the fuck happened to your hand?
It's injured.
What the fuck did you have? What the hell? Did you come in with
Writing
that?
too much.
Yeah, I've been writing too
I've
much.
been writing too
Or
much.
jerking it too much?
Oh, no. No.
It's on the air.
nothing
Or
like
the
that.
or both.
Oh, it's just a pinky?
No, it's I injured my tendon.
Oh no.
So I went to the doctors last week, and they told me to get this brace. It's called an ulnar gutter brace.
Oh,
Right?
Bad name.
And it's
That
supposed to
sounds
kind of, yeah, it sounds kind of weird, but it's supposed to kind of hold, put pressure on my tendon there.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so I felt it and heard it pop,
Oh.
and got swollen. Didn't get any bruising, which was good. At first, I thought I tore core muscle there.
He's talking about it though.
My
You're like,
bad.
oh yeah, and this and this. You
No,
were
I'm
in
talking
pain.
about-
I'm guessing, right?
Huh?
You were in pain, right?
Yes, I was in pain.
Oh, my
but
God.
Right now, too?
I'm happy about it because it's not as injured as I thought it would be. Like,
Oh,
it's
okay.
improving. Well, if you did not hear that, there are explosions going outside the nostalgic
world.
comic shop.
Who
War
was it?
the word. That was pretty loud.
Pretty loud. Hopefully.
I'm hoping.
Hopefully, the library's not in jeopardy.
Not the library.
Move the library.
Little freaking right.
And then we go outside and it's like raining,
That's a-
pages of.
That's some old timey like villain shit. Like I'm gonna
Oh,
blow
yeah.
up the library.
knowledge.
Take all the knowledge.
It's like bookworm is
Yeah.
behind it all.
Oh no.
Fucking A. That's
funny.
scary.
I'm
All
fucking
right.
Wayne,
Well,
they just
speedy
don't wanna
recovery,
forget
dude.
me.
Thank you. I
Naturally.
appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's weird. I just saw her and I'm like, what the fuck happened to your fan?
Yeah, it's getting better, but I still, when I don't wear the brace and I move it, if I move it without thinking and I kind of hyperextend it, I still hear like a clicking and popping there. So, but it's improved. So hopefully within the next week or so, I'll be a little bit better.
I'm gonna say something.
Go ahead.
We're getting old, buddy. We
No, it is. I know.
We can't be doing weird shit anymore.
I know. No more lucha. No more that. No more backyard wrestling.
I dropped myself a couple of days ago onto the floor. Like I just literally let myself fall.
Why would you do that?
Because I was tired and I wanted to just lay on the ground for a minute. So instead of getting down on my knees and
Did
turning
you brace
over,
yourself with your hands at least?
Yeah,
or
you know
did
how I know how to do a fall. You know, I know,
okay.
and I did it.
Kind of like when you do the worm, right?
Kind of like that, but not as flowing, if you will. I did it. Boom! I hit, and I fucking all I remember is hearing my fucking soul jump out of my body for a second. When I realized, oh, that shit hurt. I came back down and I just stood there for another second. I'm like, I'm not even gonna move. I'm not gonna worry about it. But that was in pain for a second there, because that shit hurt, and that shit sound because it reverbed my room. My room went boom, boom, boom. You know?
What kind of flooring do you have? Is it wood floors or
it's a
ceramic?
cement on wood on carpet.
Oh, okay.
So you know.
Not very forgiving.
But I have a mat, a yoga mat that I lay on, you know,
okay.
so that's what I was hoping would take most of the freaking. Yeah, so no.
Okay.
Yeah. Getting all
Not the
sucked.
smartest.
No, but remember when we were like 18 years old, we're jumping off houses and shit, wrestling in the backyard.
You can you can do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now-
you can smack each other with a tray
Yeah.
or a chair, and you're like, oh, it hurt, but you'll be back
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a day or so, right?
Yeah, I remember one time one of our friends was we were jiving and stuff. And all of a sudden they hit him with a pan in the back of his head.
Yeah.
He keeps going another 5-10 minutes and shit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he goes, oh shit guys, I'm bleeding. He has this big fucking ponytail, fucking blood going in the back of his head and shit.
Yeah.
You know,
You felt his hair heavy and wet.
yeah,
right?
wet. Yeah, he had like low hair, so
Yeah.
you know he didn't really feel it until it was too late. He thought it was sweat.
Yeah.
You know? And then we look in behind, and he has all this fucking blood coming down his back of his neck.
Did he have a gash or what?
Yeah, he had a
Or
gash.
big
He
gash?
has a scar there and everything.
okay.
Yeah, so he was a hardcore champion for that day.
And that friend was Peter Malini.
No.
Dude, I never seen Peter really jump out of anything.
No.
So I don't think.
No.
You should have done it, Pete. It's
Yeah.
not too late, man.
It's too
not
late. It's
No,
way too
it's
late.
never too late, man.
You know what? You haven't got the bruises yet, so you
Yeah,
yeah.
you're still
good.
prone
Maybe,
to
yeah,
it.
maybe you have like the
the agility of a 20-year-old.
yeah, of a 20-year-old, right? Because
I
you
mean,
haven't
you're-
taxed your body.
Yeah,
in
you
that.
haven't teed your. Yeah, you're Mr. T. Remember
I'm
testosterone and
Mr.
yeah.
Double T.
I
It's
don't
a
eat
double T,
tomatoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tomatoes and
Testosterone.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to find out.
One way to find out.
No.
Anyway,
Oh, should we talk about the big thing for the campaign?
Give it to him.
All right.
wait, that's not the big. Javier Hernandez isn't the big
No,
thing.
that's a big.
That's
thing.
a
Very
big
big
thing.
because you just
That's
spent
a
like 20
major
minutes talking
announcement.
about that shit. All right.
That's a major
next.
announcement. By the way, just to remind you
On to the
again,
next.
the variant cover is now available on our Kickstarter. Make sure you support Gordo, the Teenage Flying Saucer, and Javier Hernandez's El Muerto.
That interlude brought to you by Gordo, the Teenage Flying Saucer.
And then this year we're doing things a little differently. So we're doing the stickers,
Uh huh.
but they're going to be unlockable.
Unlockable.
So
sticker.
basically, anyone that gets what do you call it, a physical item, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will receive these stickers as they're unlocked. And once we meet the goal, they'll all be unlocked.
Okay.
And we have some pretty cool stuff, right? Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we have some pretty cool stickers.
Wait.
planned.
I'm sorry.
So first time around, we were selling sticker
Sticker
packs.
packs.
Okay,
right.
right.
Well, we've decided to change things up, kind of make it more interactive, right? Kind of have certain benchmarks that we want to meet.
Okay.
Right. So anybody that supports or backs a physical tier, so buys a comic or two or whatnot,
Do a sticker.
you'll get a sticker. But when we start moving up in the campaign, we're
As
gonna
more people buy and buy. Okay,
we are
okay.
going to unlock more, right, Pete?
Okay.
Yes.
So let's say you have 5 stickers unlockable every $20 or something, or every 20 purchases.
Not quite $20, but
no, every 20
but
purchases or
yes,
something. You know,
something like that.
I'm just
yes.
i.e. an example.
Definitely,
You know?
yes.
You know, so every 20, you got 20, you got one sticker. You got 20, you got another sticker, etc. But if you bought it originally, you're still gonna get the second sticker.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
So
basically, if once we meet the goal,
Uh-huh.
all the stickers will be unlocked.
And everyone's gonna get stickers.
Everyone's gonna get
And their mother.
And their if they ordered
Especially-
something.
All right, especially their mother. All right, okay, I see that.
Yeah, we're doing that. What else are we doing? Oh, the big. You want to tell them?
The
The
big
big. Yeah.
So we're also going to be producing a special Gordo the Teenage Flying Saucer T-shirt, right? So for anybody that is a fan of Gordo and wants to help support us, we're going to have a T-shirt designed by V,
Yeah.
series co-creator, illustrator, designer. She's going to come up with something really, really cool. So definitely check that out
Are
as
you?
well.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, she is.
All right.
Can you tease a little bit about what your ideas for the design are?
No.
I could.
She has none.
It's gonna be multiple characters for sure.
Multiple characters?
Yeah.
It's just like a big
Kind of like
amalgam.
you know, like sometimes they cluster the characters, kind of like that.
Kind of like what you did for Javier.
Less colored, more sketchy.
Oh.
But yes.
Okay. So you have something in mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or is it
it's
done?
already. Yeah.
Well, V has a sketchbook with all these great designs that Gordo fans cannot imagine. One day we're going to have to get V to do like a special book of all her character designs, and I think everybody would really enjoy that.
For when you put the trade out, you put that back, section, the V
Absolutely,
section. You know?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You call it TUV section.
Yeah. Lots of stuff.
That's the stuff. Do you really have a notepad just full of stuff?
I do have multiple sketchbooks.
Have you heard that?
You know, like-
Multiple
Multiple, yeah,
sketchbooks,
yeah,
yeah. See,
like concept art, you know.
she's very humble. She's very humble.
I heard
The last one I
1,000 of
saw,
them,
you
actually.
had that giant like hardcover sketchbook. Yeah, she has this
I
big.
still
set.
haven't filled it, but yes, a big
Yeah,
chunk of it is.
Okay.
Gordo stuff.
How many pages is that?
It's a lot. It's
Yeah, it's big.
like
I
over,
remember
like,
being.
I don't know, like 300 pages.
Yeah, about 300.
And it's huge. Too.
Wait, is this shirt going to be part of the Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be
Yeah.
available
Oh.
on the campaign.
Is it going to be like the last tier you unlock? Or?
No.
No.
It'll be there's gonna be a tier
Uh-huh.
where you get the shirt in the book,
Okay.
and the shirt's gonna be an add-on too, so you can just get it with anything else you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so by itself. How much
Yeah.
is it going to be by itself?
I don't know yet. Look at the campaign; it should be on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's out today. You should know.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you have to look on Kickstarter.
Are you going to have the all-in-one special?
Yeah.
Is it going to be
Working
more
on that.
expensive than
Yeah.
the last one?
No.
Are the tiers going to be different, like money-wise? I
I
have so many questions.
They're gonna
now.
be a little bit different. I think what we're gonna try to do, we're gonna try to make as many different combination tiers
Okay.
as possible. And we'll also have the add-on. So, you know, when you support something on Kickstarter, let's say you've already got issue 1 and 2, you just want to support issue 3, you can get issue 3, and then an add-on. I think
Yeah.
you can add the T-shirt if you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Or you can
So-
add, everything.
so-
Everything basically is gonna be an add-on.
Yeah, so you can definitely kind of this campaign's going to really tailor for not just new readers, but we're hoping to get brand new readers, people that missed out on issue 1 and 2. But for those that have been following us since the beginning, you'll definitely be able to get our newest stuff
Yeah.
that we're putting out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you don't. You will have it for 1 and 2 for the people that need it.
It'll be in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and-
So
but you
people that
have-
want to catch up and
Yeah.
read issue 1 and 2,
Uh-huh.
if this is their like jumping on point, like they'll be able to get 1 and 2 and 3.
and 3.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Eventually, right when we finish the first arc, we're gonna compile everything. So we're looking forward to in the future doing like a graphic novel
Yeah.
collection.
Oh
right?
shit. Well, I mean, at that point, why not just make it like an actual publisher? Take it to a publisher, be like, hey, publish this shit for me.
We could if it was that.
Yeah,
if it was that easy, I think we would do it.
Publish my book.
You know what the thing is, like I'm not really sure, but I do think like even like smaller indie publishers, they're always gonna want to take a piece of the pie.
Yeah. As far
So
as rights and stuff.
as far as rights and stuff, and again, this is something I think Pete and I have talked, and I think Pete probably feels the same. Like, I think we want to hold on to this character 100% as long as we can.
Right.
Instead of like, early in the game, well, we have 5 issues worth of stuff. We want to do a graphic novel and then kind of have to kind of sign away, like a percentage of Gordo and then not being able to control the character. I think would be difficult for all of us.
So in other words, you want to sell out for more.
Not sell.
Buy in. You want to buy in for more.
I mean,
well, I think ideally, I don't know. Again,
you want that Netflix money.
I think we want to continue kind of building Gordo to the point where we can. If we want to make a movie, we'll make a movie ourselves. If we want to make an animated series, we'll make it ourselves and not have to like depend on a small indie publisher or even a mid-sized big publisher or animation studio or whatever. Like, I think we would like to kind of figure that out ourselves.
To just make your own fucking studio.
I mean, I think that's the ultimate goal. I think we live like in the new golden age of like creator-owned comics.
I mean, look at Kirkman, man. Kirkman basically did that.
Yeah.
But Image does all this stuff.
No, it is the Skybound. It's part of Image,
but
like it's Did you know he wrote that Renfield movie?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, it's on the credits.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think that's just like the smartest thing to do now. I think that's why you see a lot of like artists and writers like just doing more indie books, whether it's like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, because I think it's smarter to just be in control 100% of your creation as opposed to, kind of having to deal with like the politics or anything that goes into a publisher kind of having a say in what you want to create and put out there.
That's interesting. Because the way you make it sound, why aren't more people doing that?
Well, I think there are because I think personally, I think we used to live in a world where like self-published comics were kind of looked down upon. Like I remember, and this might sound bad because I'm a self-published independent creator now, but I remember when I was like younger, going to cons when I was like in my teens, and I was like, oh, what is this, an indie comic? And sometimes the art wasn't as like Marvel or DC or Image at the time, so I would kind of turn away from it.
Right.
And it wasn't until like I started getting into my early 20s where like I started really going to cons and like meeting independent creators because I was interested in creating myself. And I said, you know what, this art may not be as polished or as clean as some of these other professionals, but man, some of these concepts and ideas are just as good as anything you'll find on the shelves. So I think in film, television, like fiction writing, comic books, I think you get more independent creators more than ever. And I think they're going to all these platforms to raise their awareness, whether it's like crowdfunding or stuff like Patreon or Subscribestar to kind of just build their audience.
Don't you think that's kind of like, I always thought like that's kind of like begging.
I don't know if it's begging, because you could say the same thing about Marvel and DC, because you're literally begging for an audience to buy your $3.99, $4.99, $6.99. In some cases, Pete probably knows $9.99 comics, right? So I think if you are a salesperson, and if you are a creator, you're a salesperson. You
have to be.
I think the hardest thing about being like an independent creator, I don't care if you're making film, TV, comics, whatever, is you also have to be like a marketing person, because then you got to crunch numbers, you got to figure out what is financially feasible, what makes sense, right? Like I know Pete and I talk about it all the time, like how much do we charge for this comic, right? And I think usually we have it at a pretty solid baseline, right? Which is like what, $6, and we think that's pretty good, right? Considering that a lot of big DC and Marvel books are $4.99, right? And we're not here comparing ourselves to those kind of legacy characters.
Here's the thing, or I might say, McDonald's burger, is kind of cheap, but you could get a better burger for a couple of dollars more down at the pastrami down the street. So you rather eat that pastrami kind of burger than the McDonald's burger, is what I'm saying. Your Marvel DC is nothing but a McDonald's or Burger King.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I think is cool about indie comics, and again, what I'm doing with Pete and V, is that, again, it's an indie experience. So it's like, anytime you read like a DC or Marvel book, there's always ads in them, right? We kind of take that away. Like, I can't tell you when I read I can't tell you enough how when I read a DC or a Marvel comic and I'm getting into the story and then there's a Snickers ad, I can't stand it. And guess what? I see a Snickers ad, but I don't even read it. I just turn to the next page, right? But it does bother me.
Or the worst is when they make the ads look like comics.
Yeah, they fool me into reading.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Holy shit, Thanos is winning. What about fruit pies?
Yeah.
And you know, I think it's a concerted effort by the three of us to kind of, you know, we are independent creators. We're obviously less experienced than some of these kind of legacy creators that are working in the industry. But at the same time, we want to give you the bang for the buck. So if we're selling you a comic for $6, we're promising that we're going to give you like the best story we can, the most engaging story. We're going to try to give you a good cliffhanger so you can keep coming back. And we're not going to try to sell you other products or advertisements in our comics.
Not yet.
Once we got you hooked, line, and sinker, you better believe it.
Then that hostess money's coming in.
Hostess cream pies, Gordo edition. Gordo green. CC blue. Yeah.
I mean, it's there.
Yeah. It sells itself.
Yeah.
It sells itself.
Would it be blueberry?
Although
though?
we are going into the like the mainstream industry practices with variant covers, but at least we're not doing like 5 variant covers, 10 variant covers, 15 variant covers per issue, which is I think is a little extreme.
And the difference is also like in the DC Marvel variant covers, the corporate people pick who's going to be on those things.
Absolutely.
You guys are picking people you like.
Exactly.
These are people like, oh shit, I know this guy. You know, this is my friend, to say the least. You know, and they can do that shit for you.
And we're not doing extreme markups either, because it's just you know, we're not doing like the 1 in 10 variant or the 1 in 25, 1 in 500, right? We're just, again, like you said, picking people that we like and we think are right for that issue, actually. Right?
Okay. So it's all balanced.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about variant covers for me, especially, I always love the fact of getting to get artists that don't normally draw those characters, so you get a different look in that character, which is really cool, I think. And I think we've been getting that, you know, a lot lately.
Yeah. Since when do you think Javier would ever draw for?
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
We got Javier Hernandez.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, again, you know, we do kind of hope to continue the tradition of like getting at least one variant artist per issue, right? Because I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Who's next? Issue 4.
Oh, issue 4? I don't know.
Oh, we've talked about it, but nothing
solid yet.
But Cruz, if you want to draw it, you know, just let us know.
Thank you very much.
So, for the record, Cruz just rejected us. He said it's okay.
It's okay. Thank you.
He said he's holding out for
for the big Marvel bucks.
I'm holding out for the 1 in 10 or the one when you have 1 in 25. I'll do that one.
Okay.
Oh, 125.
Okay, 125.
125. It would just be like Gordo and CC, and it says 1 in 25. That'd be it. Congratulations.
You gonna go for Scotty Young?
Yeah.
No background.
No background.
No
Just,
background.
Just them talking.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
Fuck that shit. Not a big fan of that, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
No,
But, you know.
Yeah.
It pays the bills.
Pay Scotty Young's bills.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Not mine, yeah.
I'm paying his bills.
You're contributing to his lifestyle.
Yeah.
basically.
As well as I'm going to contribute your guys' lifestyle when we
thank
go
you,
to the
thank you.
Kickstarter that started today again.
Start today. Yeah.
Today, yeah.
Go ahead
Or
and check
starts
it out.
today.
It's starting.
Because I don't know when this comes out. What
2
time?
weeks.
No, what time?
Oh, 4:20 in the morning.
Oh, no, then starting later today.
Later on today?
Later on today. it'll
Okay.
start.
Okay.
And if you happen to go to Kickstarter and it's not there, refresh, keep checking back.
Check back tomorrow.
Yes.
It should be done by then. If not, contact Pete. He'll give him a mouthful, and he'll figure it out.
Call him directly.
Call him directly.
Send them a text.
Complain.
Yeah.
What is it? I forgot the store phone number. I was gonna say it, but I forgot it.
Yeah, no, it's not working right now. So don't.
Oh, and I could go call his direct line, which I do know by memory.
Whoa.
213. Anyway. Yeah.
But yeah, we got some cool stuff.
That's good. That's good.
It's fun.
I like to see that, and I like that it wasn't. I said it was a year earlier, but it's been less than a year.
Yeah, it was supposed to be earlier, but we just got caught up with a bunch of stuff. And
You got caught up. You're caught up again now.
Yeah, it takes a lot more work than people imagine.
No shit, huh?
Yeah, it's a little
You're
much.
figuring this shit out now, huh?
Yeah.
Well, because, you know, like basically you got to develop the comic, develop the story, produce the comic. You got to get it printed. Then you got to distribute it, right? Like there's all these different components.
All I hear
right?
is excuse.
Damn.
Well, hopefully we get to the point where we have people do those kind of tasks so that we
Okay.
can kind of focus on just making the comic as opposed to
That'd
kind
be
of
nice.
Yeah.
being involved in these other aspects of the comic.
What's that called? That part of that executive producer.
yeah, I
kind of,
guess.
right? I don't know. That's what it would be in the movies, right? An executive producer.
Well,
kinda.
definitely. Or would it be an executive assistant because it would be helping us out
Assistant.
with
That'd be nice.
with the tasks?
Wouldn't the executive assistant help the executive producer?
I guess.
I don't
See,
know.
we're still not there.
We're not there yet.
There,
Figure it
okay.
out.
I mean, we still haven't heard from Robert Rodriguez yet. You know.
Robert Rodriguez hasn't called us up yet.
No,
Yeah.
I heard he
We
was
were
looking
thinking
into
that
it.
we were hoping that he'd be interested in incorporating Gordo into We Can Be Heroes 2.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
What
you know,
Or maybe in the Spy Kids reboot.
Spy
they're
Kids
doing.
reboot, right?
He shows up in the background
That'd be cool,
somewhere.
right?
Yeah. They're reading a Gordo book.
Or the after credits.
Yeah, after credits.
Have you guys sent him a copy of the book?
No.
Why not?
Robert, but if you're interested, let your representative get in contact with us. We'll send you a copy.
I'm just gonna email this episode to him
Yeah, might as well.
and be like, "Hey, guy, listen to this episode. They really want you to
You
make
gotta
this."
tell him how Robert Rodriguez inspired you to make this. This comic.
Really?
In some ways, Robert Rodriguez,
Mhm.
in a lot of ways, is he is like one of my all-time favorite filmmakers.
Interesting.
Like when I was in film school,
Mhm.
like Robert Rodriguez, and this may not be common knowledge for a lot of our younger listeners out there, but there was these things called DVDs back
What
in
is
the
that?
day, right?
Digital video.
And these digital video discs were
Uh-huh.
available, right? Home video. And I remember getting a copy of El Mariachi,
Right.
Desperado, and Robert Rodriguez, again, one of my favorite
The
filmmakers.
2-pack?
The 2-packs,
Yeah.
yeah, but he would always do like a 10-minute film school, like on his DVDs.
Oh, really?
And he would teach you some of his basic, like low budget, no budget filmmaking techniques, right?
Interesting.
And I remember like being in film school and just watching those, and they're like super inspirational, right? And for that reason alone, like Robert Rodriguez always made me feel like, oh, you can create. If you want to create, you can go out there and just do it.
I was gonna say, Robert. Every time you see an interview, he's very inspirational, if you will.
No, he is,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is.
He's always out there, like, yeah, go create, go do this, go do that.
Yeah. So he had like a super hyper
Yeah.
positive energy. So I can't tell you enough that like watching those early like 10-minute film schools, like trying to incorporate some of those techniques into my student films, like
Nice.
that was always fun.
Uh-huh.
And I just felt like I was actually sometimes learning more from Robert Rodriguez's 10 minutes than I was from some of my filmmaking class. Sorry if any of my former filmmaking professors ever hear this, but it's the truth. It's the truth.
It was like you said, a master class or a TED talk.
Yeah.
Of sorts.
It all started too, right? When he just walked in on a class, right? Like I remember the first one, he just walked in on
Yeah.
a film class and he just started just talking for 10 minutes and he just left.
Yeah,
What the
that
fuck?
one was really, really cool, right?
Yeah.
Because he was giving you advice to like just going out there and make a
Yeah.
film, get a business card that says you're a filmmaker, and start handing it to people and say, "Hey, I'm a filmmaker," and then you are what you are. Like if
Just poof, you're a filmmaker.
yeah, if you want to be a filmmaker, you can be a filmmaker.
Fucking one says sexy stud.
Hey,
sexy
if
stud.
you want to be a sexy stud, you can be a sexy stud.
Boom. I'm
Boom.
a sexy stud.
Put that on a business card and start handing it out and say, "I'm a sexy stud."
Done. Fucking A. How easy was Damn, that's a secret, huh?
No, I think that's part of it, right? Because
Yeah.
I think, and again, Pete, you can tell me if I'm wrong. V, you can tell me if you feel any differently. But sometimes, like as an independent creator, you wait for opportunities. Like, oh, I hope Warner Brothers discovers me,
Yeah.
or I hope that DC sees something that I wrote somewhere and offers me a gig, right? But like I tell my writing students all the time, you could be waiting a lifetime because there's so many talented people out there. But I think the secret, and it's not even I think, I know the secret is that you just got to create and put stuff out there.
Yeah.
That's how you get your
Yeah.
work noticed, right? All these people that we kind of look up to and revere, they did it.
They did,
You know,
yeah.
They put
Yeah.
their stuff out there. They kept developing, kept growing, and then doors opened, right? And it's not even like magic. It just
It
happened.
just
you know?
happened. You just keep creating,
Yeah.
keep put the
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
keep it going.
I think one of the biggest compliments we always get when the new issues come out is like
Yeah.
random people was like, "This should be a cartoon. This should be a cartoon."
Yeah, you got a couple of
Yeah.
those. You definitely did.
yeah.
I think that's the cool thing, right? Because I think we also live in a world that's like, you want your like intellectual property, or at least a lot of people strive to have their intellectual property like multi-platforms or multimedia. So, is your character good enough to be a comic or a movie or a cartoon or even a video game, a board game, right?
Yeah.
And I think like
a collector's cup.
Yeah, like, I think the world we're building, all three of us collectively, I think there's room for it to be a video game. I think there's room for it to be like a board game. I'm a fan of old school board games. I love old school board games. I don't know the first step about making one. I just know that I like playing them, right?
Yeah. I would see it something like maybe like a Candyland or like a Shoots and Ladders.
That would be fun. That would be fun. So instead of like slides, maybe we have like wormholes and he travels through them. Right? That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
We can get those little kind of like little pieces. You can play with Cece or Gordo or the general if you wish to, right?
Yeah.
No, but I think that's part of just like being a creator is just putting your stuff out there, see who gravitates to it, right?
Right.
Because again, not only do I think we create it for ourselves because we like it, we enjoy it, but we want that audience. We want people to kind of get the same enjoyment out of it as we do from creating it and talking about it.
I think that was like the most fulfilling thing, I guess, for the Kickstarter was when I was sending packages out, and those people like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea who this person is, or like out of state somewhere. And it was like, this is crazy because this is just a random person.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Right.
Yeah,
well, that's when it becomes more real because, we all have friends and family that will support us, and just like, I know my brother's always going to pick up copies of Gordo and they're always going to say nice things about it. But when you get a random person from a random state that you've never spoken to, that may not even follow you on social media, but they found the comic somehow, and they decided to lay down, $6 to $15 or whatever it is, right? Then again, it's real, right?
Yeah, it's real.
The most surreal thing that I still have to find out what happened.
Yeah.
Someone had me send copies to CTC.
Oh, get them graded.
Yeah.
I got them graded. There's graded copies out there somewhere.
Well, you know what? And I think that's like cool and really fun because, we live in a world, especially if we are into comics and stuff, there are some hardcore collectors of just like number one issues, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that somebody wants to get it graded is maybe they believe in it. They think like this is going to be something that's big in the future. So let me secure a first print of issue number 1, get it graded. I have that as kind of like a little nest egg or whatever.
Okay.
Now that might be delusional. Yeah. But if you're out there listening, please go ahead and get issue number 3 graded.
It sounds delusional, but it might be
not.
right.
It's not.
No, it sounds like this will never. I mean, that makes no sense to me. Yeah. But at the same time,
someone
did it. It's real.
And the other thing too, I want to say, I have the mic, right? It's just like, we make this character because I think we all believe in it. Because, Pete has 1,000,001 ideas. I have 1,000,001 ideas. I know V has 1,000,001 ideas. But actually picking one thing and focusing energy on it, I think that's like every like artist or creator's like
Achilles
dilemma or Achilles heel, right?
Yeah.
The fact that we are investing in Gordo and say we believe in this property or this character. Is the same way as like somebody picking up a copy of it and getting it graded. They believe in it as well. So
that much.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think they believe in it more than you guys do.
No, I think the thing is we could probably do that, right? We could get a bunch of copies, but then we'd have to sell it for a markup because then we would lose money, right? But that's also the thing, like what is that kind of healthy gray area where we're not expending too much money or losing too much money on a project. That's why I think kind of keeping the momentum. Pete said we wanted to do issue 3 a little bit sooner, right? Because we want to keep that momentum going, right? If we have gained new readers or fans, we want to maintain them and we want to give them content, right?
You gotta keep them happy.
Yeah.
You gotta keep.
I think that's also like the big Achilles for like a lot of TV shows. They go on hiatus and then they're gone for like a year or 2 years or 3 years, and then they come back and you're like, oh, I forgot about that show. I don't care about it anymore, right? So we want to get to a point where we're consistent with it, right?
That's good. That's interesting. I mean, can't wait for the Kickstarter number 4 campaign already. We're not even done with 3. We started today.
Started 3.
Wow.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun, man. It's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
You said.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Well, I think it's also going to be fun for the readers.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of halfway through the arc.
Yeah.
So hopefully people start getting a sense of what Gordo the Teenage flying saucers going to be moving forward with this one.
Yeah, if you thought it was crazy,
Before.
it gets weirder.
Okay.
It gets a lot weirder.
Okay, I'm gonna segue here a little bit because you guys are talking about Gordo Teenage Flying Saucer, and this a couple weeks ago, the government just said
No, that's aliens.
there's fucking aliens among us.
Yeah.
No, sorry, interdimensional beings, not aliens from outer space.
Or they beat us to that. That's something that's in the book.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
That's something that's in the book.
Oh.
We're exploring a lot of UFO lore, mythology. We're talking about aliens and
But
With the super spectrum.
does this change anything you guys are gonna do? I mean, this
not necessarily. I mean, look, you have the government saying that there's these
Quote, unquote.
interdimensional beings,
Uh-huh.
but they've said this before in
And
unclassified documents.
on Tool albums.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so it's like, it's not something that is
Yeah.
out of this world, because
No.
if it really was, you would have, I think, a bigger reaction from people, because people are like, okay, where are they?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If it's true, where are they?
That's
right?
exactly
I
right.
think the only way it would change if like they were like, oh, there's this kid has a teenage flying saucer power. Like, oh, damn it.
Hopefully we don't get sued.
Yeah. Then we might have a problem.
But I don't know about you guys, but I feel like when they said, when they had their meeting and stuff, I was kind of like, okay, like,
Yeah.
you knew this.
Yeah.
You knew
Well,
this
the thing
already.
they kill me on those
Yeah.
meetings where they were asking them questions, they're like,
The guy with the
oh,
do-rag?
I'll tell you later.
Oh.
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later.
I'll
Like,
try it
dude.
out of fucking, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know?
The thing is also, I think it's fascinating too, right? Because if it's true, and I'm a believer in a lot of different things. I feel like I believe in all these different things. I'm the type of person, like, I feel like Mulder. I want to fit the pieces of the puzzle
You
together.
want to believe.
Yeah, I want to believe, how do all these things connect?
See, I believe in all that stuff except in the government.
Yeah. If the government's telling me, I don't trust it coming from directly from them. And I also feel like it would have been like a bigger thing, because it'd be like, this is changing humanity, right? It's a humanity-changing announcement.
But do you think it's like it's not a regular thing because the world's so fucking crazy right now?
That's exactly what's going on. You know what? It's big news, but we're all too busy looking at our fucking phones, looking downward, not looking up, that we don't give a shit anymore.
No, I think that's part of it, but I also think it's more.
I
of
think it's
like,
a big part of it.
If this announcement would have come out 2019,
Right.
before the world caught
Pandemic.
fire,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think it'd been a bigger deal.
Dude, before the Area 51 run, remember that?
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
They should have done that
Before that.
Yeah.
That would have been.
I think more people would have gone, though. More people would
I
have been
definitely would have been.
Well, I think going back to what Cruz said, I think that's like interesting, like people like being their head stuck in the phone or
Yeah.
whatever. But I think that also makes sense, because it's kind of like people. Okay, so if aliens exist or interdimensional beings exist, how does it impact me?
Yeah.
Like, how is life changing? Oh, it's not impacting me? Cool.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
go back to my favorite TV show. Let
Yeah.
me go back to doing what I do, right?
Yeah, my phone is still
And
here.
so it's like, it is interesting national news, and people are talking about. I mean, we're obviously talking about it on this
Yeah.
podcast, but I think we live in a world where people are like, how does it affect me? If it
Yeah.
doesn't affect me, I don't care about it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting though.
Yeah. Again, it's happening underneath our noses, and we're not giving a shit.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks because I kind of wish it had been a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
younger me would flip the fuck
Yeah.
out. If the government
I think
said
what
it
V
was
wants
real.
is like, what is that movie?
ID4?
War of the Worlds.
Oh, no.
Where she wants like
Yeah,
aliens
yeah,
coming
just
out.
sprout out and let me see
And just like
it.
you
Let
want
me
to see people turning to
yeah.
dust.
100%. Can you
Right?
imagine?
Or what is it? The day the Earth stood still,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, I'm more of an ID4 where everyone
Oh,
goes
ID4.
party. Everyone goes
Oh.
party on top of the building. It's like,
Yeah.
we're here. Come fuck me. Everyone, come fuck me. Yeah. Or what you say? I want to do it with an alien? Yeah.
No, I think it's gonna be more.
You'd be on top of that building?
I'll be on top of that alien. Uh-huh.
I think it'd be more Mars attacks.
Nyah, nyah.
That's the situation we'd be in. Like.
I mean,
Someone
you
call
think the
Pat
aliens
Inca.
are like that, or the beings are more like Mars attacks?
No, I think that's how we would react.
React to it?
Yeah.
So you're telling me Paul Anka could kill him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Or more like the signs?
Oh, signs.
That
Signs.
scared the shit out. I'd be scared. I wouldn't leave my house.
Because you saw signs?
Yeah, dude.
You know what's funny? When I saw that movie first time, the scene where when he walks past that's fucking scary.
In Brazil.
But then I watched it recently, and I'm like, oh, it looks weird.
Well, yeah, it's like a VHS camera, recording it.
No, the part that's scary is when he's in the field and you just see the leg.
Oh, and
it just goes inside.
Because it blends in and then you see it move and it doesn't. No.
See, that's when M. Night Shyamalan was
at
the top of his game.
With goats.
I mean, think about it, right? He would just give us like body parts, the leg or the finger. I think the fingers
underneath the
door.
But then we saw it at the end. Like, it shows up at the end. Like,
so that's the argument. What if we had never seen the alien?
Yeah,
that would have been
cool.
interesting.
That'd been way cooler.
Right.
I don't know. I can't.
I really liked the
did
reveal.
enjoy it myself.
I mean, my favorite shot of that is when we see a reflection in the TV.
Yeah.
That is such a good reveal.
Yeah.
Like, that's
well, because it's a visual cinematic reveal, right? Because it's just like you're not doing it just like camera on the alien. It's we're seeing something kind of shot through the lens or reflecting. So that's always good visually.
I don't know, that fight at the end would have been cooler because you see it from the outside and you see you know. But when you get right in there, just like it kind of loses for me.
See, and for me, it was more of he did the peaks throughout the whole movie. So if he didn't give me the reveal, I'd be like,
you'd be a little sad.
Like I still would have liked it, but
yeah,
I like the reveal.
Yeah, you have to give me something. You have to give me something. Yeah, a foot is not gonna do me in.
And then again, it's like when you rewatch it, you're like, you know.
Yeah.
But
It's goofy.
at that time when it came out, I was petrified of that.
Yeah,
It's a scary movie.
it
It's a
was.
scary movie.
Yeah.
Especially when you just hear it right on the ceiling and when it puts his hand inside and grabs the kid. Like,
Yeah, that's so scary.
Yeah,
It's a pretty scary
it's
movie.
got its moments. It's better than the fucking The Village, I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
I like the village. I like the village. Oh, sorry.
So real quick story. Me and Cruz bought tickets to go see it like a week early.
Yeah.
And we sat there and like what half an hour in, we're like, oh, I know what's going on. I know.
I think at some point I knew as well.
Yeah.
But I think I felt that's why I think I enjoyed the movie because I felt like, oh, I guessed it. I knew it was going to happen, right? And I also thought it was. The thing is, I think it's a grander idea of like these people trying to escape society, and I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
Again, granted,
Could've been
I don't
better.
think it's M. Night Shyamalan's best film.
Well, I think that's the first time. He does this a lot now, which fucking drives me crazy. Is where someone explains the plot at the end.
No,
Yeah.
And I think that was the first time.
It's him usually.
Yeah, he's the ranger or whatever, and he's all like,
he gives
people paid good money, so planes don't fly over. And, you know, and he explains the whole thing.
Well, I think, again, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I would assume is M. Night shoots it the way he wants to shoot it, his script, because I think he earned enough, at that point in his life, had enough, like, cachet to do it however he wanted to, but then it's like whoever's putting it out says, well, you kind of have to explain what's going on, so he has to put that, expository kind of dialogue or explanation in there. Now, I hate that. That's like bad writing, though, but... Like, I don't need to have that explanation that airplanes don't fly over there.
Yeah.
Like, I will just accept that. And I think that's a cool idea that there's these group of people that wanted to live outside of society.
That's so possible now. With people saying, like, I was born in the wrong time. Like, who's to say there's not a group of people in the middle of fucking nowhere?
They're called the Amish.
Living in a different time.
Because that was a bird sanctuary, right? That was a big twist,
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's before he really started getting over the top. Like, was it Lady in the Water? It's kind of
I like Lady in the Water. I like Lady in the Water.
No.
But it's funky, man.
No, I think that's the point.
And I really want to like that one, too.
Yeah, I really, me too.
Yeah.
I like the ensemble cast. Here's the thing I like about,
What's
like...
it, Paul Giamatti?
Yes.
Yeah.
Freddie Rodriguez is in it, too, right?
And Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
What I like about M. Night Shyamalan films, especially...
Split and Unbreakable and...
I love those films as well. Kind of like his take on the superhero universe. If someone else is supposed to show up to the cabin, like...
Will they not have the option of doing the cabin people or follow her story?
Yeah.
Whether...
I don't know. I was confused.
I mean, they could.
Here's the only thing that I thought was cool, though. I could be reading into it. Like, in the little recording, they said that it was like one of 3 books.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's like the 3 different universes of the evil. I'm like, okay, that's cool, right?
Yeah. Come together
Again, it was fun for what it was.
Yeah. No doubt. But what I'm saying is, like, you can guess movies because we've seen so many movies. We watched so many TV shows. We've read so many books or comics. It's like we can almost guess most of the time.
Yeah.
So much,
there's
usually
so
the same story with just like a different twist.
different twists, different characters, different locations.
And that's why M. Night Shyamalan kind of died out because he was doing the same thing over and over. The twist, the twist, the twist, the twist. You know, and eventually you twist the knife enough, you get a hole.
Like you say, he didn't.
Right? Yeah, not for me.
No, but here's what I think though. M. Night Shyamalan, like, what is it called? The what's the I See Dead People movie again?
Sixth Sense. Yeah.
One of the greatest twists.
Yeah.
And that works. I'm a twist guy. It's hard to top that.
He set the bar really high with that.
Yeah, he really did.
That movie is so good because like if you go back knowing it, you see all that shit.
Yeah,
it's all there.
You know.
It's
all the
there.
breadcrumbs. So I think like, man, his best like overall story movie, right? Is it my favorite? I don't know if it's my favorite M. Night Shyamalan, right? I really like what is it? Unbreakable.
Yeah.
I really like Unbreakable.
You know what's funny?
First one's great.
I forgot what I was seeing. I saw the first trailer for Unbreakable.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was a superhero movie going into it.
Yeah.
It's just like, it gives you that whole, like, oh, this guy survived the train crash. Or, you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. But then, like, it's a superhero movie.
Well, in the trailer, they show Mr. Glass in the comic book shop.
Do they? I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that trailer. But you know what I will say, though? Like, for people that are trying to create new, like, superhero concepts, like, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you modernize a superhero. That's how you kind of make something that feels fresh to superheroes, right?
Right.
Because you really get, like, all these people try to copy, like, Superman, Spider-Man, right? You can tell it's like a clear rip-off of that. And I don't think that works with, like, modern audiences.
No.
Like, I think the Unbreakable universe is really cool. But what about when we found out, what's the second one?
Oh,
Split.
Split.
Yeah. When we found out that it was connected to the Unbreakable universe, I freaked.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's when I said Shyamalan is back. I said
that was in plot twist in span of years. It
In
was
span of
in
years.
a movie.
yeah.
Yeah, because it was just at the end. He shows up.
And that's how you do it right.
Yeah.
Like he didn't make Split whack by like shoehorning like Bruce Willis's character into the story. He did it like in the traditional Marvel way with the post credits,
reveal,
right?
yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, right?
Shit.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
You can't speculate or make like theories.
No.
Just kind of
But-
like, what the
But then
fuck?
you end up with Glass. And remember going into it, we had all these theories.
Yeah.
And you were like,
None of
Let's
them.
look it up. And, that's
And he
why
dies in a pile of water.
But you
Pile
know
of water.
what? You know what? I think here's the strength of like that trilogy though. The second one, we're watching a sequel without knowing we're watching a sequel.
Yeah.
So that's what made it cool, right?
Okay.
The third one, here's the thing. I think most trilogies, I don't want to say most trilogies suck.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard like wrapping up a story in 3 chapters.
Yeah.
Really?
Right? I think it's one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, Star Wars made 9 of them afterwards or something, right?
Yeah, no, because you'll never end it,
Yeah.
right? Because I think arguably, what is it? The Return of the Jedi is the third one, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
third one. I like Return of the Jedi, but more people are going to say the
Empire.
Empire Strikes
yeah.
Back is the
I mean,
best
that's
one,
the best
right?
one, right?
And you're like,
Bunch of Muppets.
and in reality, it probably shouldn't be that way because you want to end on a high note, like, oh shit, that was an amazing trilogy.
Yeah.
But I think it's rare though. I mean,
You can't. I think it's very difficult.
Like once you hit like a high note, like Empire, like how do you follow that up? Like realistically, like you know, like
You
gotta
make a
do it
prequel.
right.
And it's
Yeah.
hard to do it cinematically because
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
with stuff like Hunger Games, they'll split like the third movie into 2 movies.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
fucking 4 movies. What is that? A
Fucking Harry
quadrology,
Potter.
right?
I wouldn't mind like if they did that with Glass.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would watch
If it-
both sections and I would have been like, you know what, probably.
yeah.
Now you're being
It
greedy.
would've-
Now,
it would've been,
now you're stretching
because
out
it
the
felt kind
universe.
of hard.
Look,
Oh, yeah.
look, it would have been like Superman takes care of Metallo and then takes care of Lex Luthor.
That's true.
Oh,
You know?
it's good given time.
Well, here's
It
the other
is-
thing. I'm not a big fan with like too many villains in a superhero
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, well, you got 2 of them against 1 in that one.
Two's cool.
Yeah.
I think when you get to 3 or 4,
See,
it gets
but that's the
very
thing.
difficult.
That's what you were getting because Lex Luthor's not a strong dude, so he needs a front guy to fucking be the
That makes
strong man.
sense.
You know,
That
so
make-
that's what would have been the
kinda
whole thing.
makes sense. But like going back to what was it?
Unbreakable.
No, I'm talking going to the Batman universe.
Oh,
the
okay.
Val Kilmer one, or
Yeah.
is it, which one's the one with Uma Thurman?
That's it.
Everybody
Really?
chill.
The third one?
That's Forever.
Freeze.
No, that's Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. right?
Freeze.
So that one,
Yeah.
okay. You have Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
You have Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bane.
And you have Bane. And it's not Bane done well,
No.
right?
The henchman.
He wants to be a comic book accurate Bane. Right?
I do not like when they kind of make like a top tier villain to like a henchman. Like I would prefer that. I would prefer that you kind of remove that third villain and kind of put him in a different film if you can, instead of making it a henchman. It's just kind of.
That's a big thing, though. Remember, was it that Harley Quinn movie? Was it Zaz?
I don't like that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, he was his henchman, right?
Yeah, the
Black
henchman.
Mask henchman.
And even like in Batman vs Superman, KG Beast is in it.
Yeah.
But nobody knows
Yeah.
that it's KG Beast because he's never suited up. So it's just like, why not just make a random henchman?
But see, it's funny. I've heard people make this argument before, but like if you think about it, like Batman, the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Bane is back to being a henchman because it was like Talia the whole time, right?
Oh,
like,
right.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, it's a war.
But here's the thing. He's also a strategist, right?
Yeah.
And he's also, for the most part, for about 80, 85, maybe even 90% of the movie,
A drug addict.
a drug addict. But the villain that we know, the villain that
Yeah.
we're watching, right? And I think the twist of course, of The Dark Knight Rises is like, oh, he was never in control.
Yeah.
It was really Talia that was pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Could that have been executed better? Maybe. Could have been more interesting.
I didn't mind that. The only thing that bugs me is how he gets taken out so easily. Because when she, like, the Catwoman shoots him with the motorcycle gun.
Oh, yeah.
And just gets
That's
taken
how I
out.
felt about Glass.
Yeah.
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 That was super rushed. I wanted like 10 more minutes of that
Epic battle.
I
No.
wanted
I thought they were gonna fight in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
they're gonna
yeah,
stop
yeah.
that,
It should have been epic.
Yeah.
that virus or whatever,
Right?
right? They're
Yeah.
gonna try to stop a virus. Yeah.
Come on.
I feel like that was probably in a script somewhere. That's too expensive. Let's just
You know what's funny? We talked about it right when we got out. Remember, and we're saying, would it be cool if everyone in the
Facility,
asylum had powers?
Yeah, and they would have came out
They
and
broke out.
Yeah.
Because there's a deleted scene where like he goes to the basement, the freaking what's his name?
The Arkham Asylum? Or
What's his name? The beast? The beast, right?
yeah, the beast.
Oh.
He goes down to the basement and he finds all these like insane people and they start worshiping him. And he's like walking and they're following him. Like what was the plan there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And, like there's no setup for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been weird. Like all these people had powers and they're under
Would've
him.
been cool.
Fucking Legion of Doom kind of thing.
Because then you would have had like, because then you had that doctor, right? And that was her plan, was to make them think they're crazy. They don't have powers. And then you just let them all out.
And that's what they did to Bruce Willis, right? They made him think it's crazy and he didn't have powers, but he really did have powers until he drowned in a puddle of mud.
You see?
10 more minutes, right?
Yeah. I mean, not even that. Like, let them drown in that fucking tank. That's more heroic than the fucking puddle. Yeah.
The thing is, I think it's gonna come down to like always the creator or the storyteller argument.
That tank's too obvious. Hell
No, not that too. But even like, you know what's even more tragic? That a puddle took him out.
Yeah.
Not a tank of water, but just the puddle took him out. And I think that's like an argument that would probably happen back.
Like
and
when you
forth.
choke on your spit and you feel like you're gonna die because you can't breathe 'cause you're choking on your spit. And you're
Yeah.
like, is this like I'm gonna die on a piece of spit?
Piece of spit.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's like
Yeah, I
a
get
story
it,
thing.
yeah.
But doesn't mean we have to agree with it. But I
Yeah.
agree with Pete. Like it would have been cooler if he died in that big old tank, right?
Yeah.
It'd be a lot cooler if he did.
Even Glass, where he just got taken out with that one punch or whatever. Like, I mean, yeah, he's fragile, I get it. But
Oh, my-
still.
his name,
Still.
namesake.
Oh.
That's fascinating. Well, anyway, we could probably be talking about M. Night Shyamalan all the time.
Oh, man. We didn't even talk about, what is it, the business?
I think we're gonna do a special M. Night Shyamalan podcast.
By the way-
I'm gonna watch the cabin one.
I couldn't hear you very well in the last part when you just said something.
Of what?
Because I don't think, speaking to the microphone.
Hello?
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, it kind of, when you said something, it just came in very,
Oh.
very low.
So hopefully you didn't say anything incriminating.
Yeah.
No.
No, worry, I'll edit it.
I don't think so.
Or
Did-
not.
Did you say the
I think I said
N-word?
it.
No? Okay, good. You know? Any other?
No,
Or
yeah, you
M.
confessed that you love The Happening. One of the.
I actually do like the happening.
Yeah, it didn't
And I
happen. I
rewatched
to
No,
what's
that,
happening.
you know why The Happening's cool?
Why?
I think about this all the time, and that movie stays with me because every time I'm in my house, I'm looking through the window and I see the trees move. It makes me think of that movie, and you're like, and I honestly,
know
you know,
where you're
I do
going.
believe plant life is life. You know,
Yeah, it's alive.
And there's like these tons of studies, like being positive with plants, how they grow at a rapid rate, being negative with plants, how it kind of kills them. I think that's a fascinating idea.
Dude, and then they're like developing. Like
Yeah.
they're growing. Like if they're not growing in a certain place where they usually grow, they're like morphing into just fucking being able to do it anyways. So
There's people that are sticking electrodes to these things and singing to them, making them feel good, and they see these reactions coming through
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
electromagnetic pulses that say, "Hey, it's happy," you know.
They make zombie ants.
dude.
See,
Telling you.
I think
That's mushrooms. That's
I
a live
think
organism.
I think now if that movie came out now, where more people kind of think about the environment, or at least it's something that's bombarded. Like I think it'd be a bigger movie, or more people would talk about it. But even if there was more scenes, like we're talking about how plants kind of thrive on positive frequencies, positive energy.
Yeah.
Like if you kind of added little tidbits of that explanation throughout, I think that movie would have been stronger.
Top tier.
But
Yeah.
I do. I talk to
What
my
the-
It
plants.
was ahead of its time,
But
man.
they promoted it as like its first R-rated movie, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That was-
It has some of the most disturbing scenes,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I'm sorry, the scene where with the freaking construction workers just.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then the
Boom,
part where
boom,
they're in the
boom.
Jeep, dude. I remember that goddamn math teacher,
Yeah.
his expression as he's driving and he's looking up at the fucking corner of the truck and he sees and he knows they're gonna die. So what does he do in his last moments?
Fuck
He
it.
just fucking starts spewing math fucking shit to distract them.
Yeah,
And then you cut from that.
because you know they're dead.
And then you pan out and it just stops.
yeah.
And then it's like a split second of you're like, you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and then
'cause it's happening, right?
does.
Yeah, 'cause
That's
it's
so
happening, Julie.
Scary. That's so scary.
What about that one where they're old people? The old people one. What's it
Oh,
called?
yeah. Old people are
no,
kinda
it's that.
scary.
Oh,
The beach? No,
visit?
the visit.
The visit.
The-
that
the-
old
the
lady
gr-
crawling in that basement.
yeah.
Oh, she's all on four.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, anytime anyone crawls, fuck that shit.
But see,
yeah,
but
crawling is scary.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
But see, the thing about that movie, I liked it, but
Yeah.
it all could have been resolved if the mom would just take the kids to go
Yeah.
visit their grandparents.
She sucked it up and.
To
Yeah.
don't throw them on a fucking train to like
I
another
think
state.
that was I mean, a lot of people do that. You
Yeah.
know that,
But you
right?
see, I think that's also something really cool about his movies. A
Uh-huh.
lot of things could have been avoided if people were just a little bit more,
Honest.
or even like aware of like,
Uh.
don't be a fucking dick and drive your kids over, or you know,
That's
like
all a life,
be better
though.
to the fucking planet. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost anything,
It's all a life.
and so yeah.
As you're
like,
preaching. You're preaching right now. Keep going.
It's just and
Yeah, I'm not-
No, I think all his movies have good ideas, but it's kind of like what I like about The Happening is,
Yeah.
you know, the plant life is kind of fighting back. You
Yeah.
know,
the fauna.
yeah, they are kind of, you know, let us expel these people that are destroying plant life and kind of get back to a level where there's a manageable human population.
balance.
So. Yeah,
Yeah.
balance, and I like that idea, right?
Well,
it's creepy, it's scary.
You
if it
heard
didn't
that the world itself is breathing, right?
happen. Yeah.
You know, it's constantly breathing in and out. You know, so it's alive.
That's again, I love that idea. It's an interesting film because how many films have you really seen that where like the Earth is kind of fighting against people,
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to get rid of people, expelling people, right?
That was always the theory, right? Of global warming is like a fever.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's burning sad.
I don't know if you guys ever saw, there was this documentary a lot whiles back, like what if people died, and you know it was taking like 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, and it would show you how Los Angeles would be in 100 years and how the fauna and the
Was
everything
that on
would,
the History Channel?
I think so. It might have been on one of those Discovery channels or
Okay,
something like
so,
that. And it was interesting, like, the steel would last only so long because eventually steel corrodes and eventually stuff will fall down.
yeah.
You know, but it might survive because all these plants would start living around it, so it might not go down. You'd have a natural bridge
Right.
where an old bridge used to be, but now you'll have one made out of plants and
Yeah,
shit.
that's interesting. That's part of like in those movies, like I Am Legend with Will Smith, where like remember like the plant life is like taking over the city.
Yeah.
I kind of like movies like that.
Yeah.
Or what other
Last
movie
of
did?
Us.
The Last
Last
of
of
Us
Us,
does that
yeah.
as well, right? Where we kind of see these
The fungus.
yeah, well, we see like these absent cities, or kind of like these cities devoid of people, and like how the plant life can really take over if they wanted to. So I always find that fascinating. I like that. It's kind of like
Yeah.
like a visual design.
Or
Yeah.
you see like a freaking deer and its baby just walking down a fucking
street,
yeah.
It's great.
Well, was it nature finds a way, and it's true. They always find a way. You cut your grass every few months because it keeps coming back, right?
Right.
You know, weeds come out of nowhere.
Right.
You know,
Through pavement and shit.
yeah, through pavement, yeah.
You see the concrete going up.
Yeah, yeah. And they'll be like, "Fuck you."
They'll
Sorokin.
definitely outlive us for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I love again. Sorry, go back to comics, but but like in DC Comics, like Swamp Thing. Pete knows I love Swamp
Yeah.
Thing. Like I think he's one of the most powerful characters.
Oh, he
and-
is, right? Isn't he the
Yeah.
green?
Yeah, exactly.
He's, like, stronger than
what
Kermit.
he can do, like I think he's such a fascinating
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
I remember, what was it? Was it Reapers when they brought him back? The
Yeah.
original crossover, and like
He was a
White
planet.
Lantern.
he fixed the planet.
Yeah.
Like he brought back
There
the
you go.
planet, but then there was like an after credits, which was kind of cool. Where like all these CEOs are like, "Oh, the planet's better now. Let's fucking exploit it." And he was like, "Nope," and he fucking murdered them all.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, and that's when you start wondering who's the real villain.
No, see, I'm fine with that because these guys were getting kickbacks anyway. They're probably getting millions of dollars and fucking money that, you know, while killing the planet at the same time.
100%.
You know, that's the way the world
Yeah.
works. People are shit. Anyway, CEOs are shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
big time
You want to
money
name
makers.
any in particular?
Yeah, I do. And as a matter of fact, I want to beep, 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 beep.
Now, when we're talking about Shyamalan, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room.
Elephant?
It is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh no! We don't have to.
No.
And with that, thank you very much. Good night, good morning, good
I think we
afternoon.
did-
Bye.
Let me tell you something.
No.
Let me tell you something.
You guys were
I
ahead.
enjoyed that movie, and
Oh,
I'll tell you
no.
why. Because I had no exposure.
Okay.
Oh.
So to
Good
me,
for you.
that's all I know. When I saw
Okay.
it, I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Did you also see the Dragon Ball movie without seeing fucking Dragon Ball?
No,
No.
it didn't happen that way. So for me, because
Hmm.
someone who had never, I knew any of those characters,
Uh-huh.
watching like M. Night Shyamalan's adaptation of it, I just assumed that it's close to what the subject matter is.
No.
And of course, I know it's a hot button topic for a lot of
Yeah.
people, but for me, that movie doesn't bother me as much as the hardcore
Yeah.
fans of.
See, it's just another movie, huh?
Avatar.
When the pandemic hit, I rewatched all the series on Netflix, and then after I was done, it was like, "Do you want to watch this movie?" And I was like,
No.
"I don't know if I've ever seen this movie." So like I sat there and I watched it. My issue with it is it's that curse of like he was too much of a fan of that series that he tried to put everything in it. That should have been a
He
trilogy.
jam-packed it, yeah.
That should have been a trilogy. Like
Yeah.
like there was so many ideas that he put in there. That
He tried to do, yeah.
it was the whole first
Yeah.
season. It was
Yeah.
the whole first season,
Yeah.
and like smacked into one.
Into an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So,
and didn't
so
work.
here's like the argument, right? And we
Yeah.
can go back. Remember, Lock and Key did the
Yeah,
same thing,
they
right?
did, yeah.
So, but talking about Shyamalan and his Avatar adaptation, right? How likely was it that
Yeah,
a
it was-
studio was
yeah.
going to let him do 3
Yeah.
Avatar
Yeah.
movies, right?
I mean,
The
I'm
thing
like-
was big. The property was
Yeah.
huge. Why
Yeah.
not?
and he was at the top. of
He,
the
he was
game.
still good
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
But let me ask you
But
this:
it's true because I feel like the majority of parents that took their kids to watch that did not watch the animated
Yeah.
series.
Okay.
Yeah, like I know
So it
people
makes
like people talk
sense,
shit about
I
that
guess.
Dark Tower movie.
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
I like
I've
that.
never read those books.
Yeah, I like that.
And I like that movie.
Yeah.
That movie was cool.
because you don't have anything to judge it
yeah,
on
to
or
Yeah.
compare it to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, and there's comic books, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like completely different than the comic book too. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's 3 versions of the same book.
Yeah.
You know, all Stephen King.
Yeah.
And I saw the movie and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It,
Yeah.
it was way more sci-fi than that was gonna be.
Still haven't
See,
read the book, so.
In some respects, you know, I know it kind of angers like fandom, right? When
Yeah.
liberties are taken. But in other respects, I think, you know, because there's people that watch movies that don't read fiction
Yeah,
books.
yeah.
So they're never going to sit down and read a Dark
Yeah.
Tower series book, right? But they might watch the Dark Tower movie,
Yeah.
right?
It's only an hour
So
and a half, 2 hours,
it's a
yeah.
good entry point for them, and kind of vice versa. I know there's a lot of people, and it's not as common, but there's a lot of people that are just fiction readers, and they don't really care about television or popular entertainment.
That's true.
Like on streaming services. So I think sometimes it's good to kind of take liberties with the adaptation because I think you kind of expand your net
Yeah.
in terms of kind of bringing in
Yeah.
different like viewership and kind of building a fandom in different areas.
All right, and okay, now I'm gonna ask you this weird question. Since watching the movie, have you watched the show,
The show?
the Avatar?
No, I
No,
never
you
have.
never have?
And it's not. there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to watch, and I just never sat down and watched
If you watch long enough, Henry Rollins comes out in it.
Who?
Henry Rollins, Black Flag.
Black Flag.
You know, it's like, you know music. You know, oh, fuck. You know Henry Rollins, like great immaculate. Fucking Google the fucking guy, dude.
I'm sorry.
Where the fuck have you been?
Music, I'm weird to many people because when people mention like bands and artists, like if you're not saying like Madonna, Michael Jackson, like
Henry Rollins is on that level. I would say he's on that fucking
on Michael Jackson's level.
Yeah, well, maybe two below, but yeah, he's there.
A guy that did a moonwalk.
Yeah, Henry Rollins is the fucking greatest.
A guy that made like music videos. They were like short movies. I'm sorry, I don't know who Henry. I'll look him up after the podcast.
Yeah. Trust me.
Don't mean to upset anybody out there in podcast land.
The people remember his name's Miguel Acevedo.
Please don't boycott Gordo, the Teenage Flame Saucer.
and he writes for this book.
But what was the question exactly?
I forgot where. Oh, well, have you watched the show?
Yeah,
but I mean,
he's a performer or
a voice actor. He plays an actor at one point,
you.
but he's not really a voice actor by any trade.
Okay.
But the show itself, just it's worth fucking.
Really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Yeah. The movies.
You know, I didn't care for Korra.
Really?
I didn't care for
man.
You
Korra.
gotta get past the first and second.
I've rewatched that 2 times. I rewatched all of Avatar twice.
I
And
mean, I haven't watched it as much as
yeah.
the last Airbender, but
Yeah, Airbender I watched 2 times also. And Korra I watched 2 times.
Korra's good.
You know what I like about only thing I like it was modernized. It was getting a little more modern. It was following the
And
the
it
times
felt so
change.
old-timey.
Yeah.
But it still felt old timey. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
But the story was like, okay, now what? Okay, now what? Okay, now what? And okay, now what? You know, that's kind of how it went. And with Avatar,
not a lot of people liked Korra, but
and Avatar was a big build up. There was traveling. There was
but
going
you
to.
can't
There was more
compare
learning.
A lost Avatar for hundreds of years to
A brand
an
new.
Avatar that already had the bar set.
As
You know,
a-
like
yeah.
they forgot about Aang, so he had a lot of messing up.
And she already came with the
stuff to
power already pre-programmed too, because she was a little girl and she was able to do wind,
because
earth, and
there wasn't that time and break
Yeah.
between avatars. So
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there was more. There was more to absorb. There was more. There's more.
So you like the word? I don't know anything about what you're talking about, but I assume when you say Korra, I've heard of something called Legend of Korra. Is
Yeah,
that-
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So I don't know about any of them per se, but you're saying you like the world building or kind of like the characters from that
The
first
first
series?
one, yeah, and even though they were more goofier than the later ones, you know, they try to make the later one, the Korra ones, goofier, and it just kind of felt like you guys are trying.
Dude, that was not goofy.
Yeah,
Sometimes
the
I
bro-
felt
It was pretty sad.
I'm sorry.
It was pretty dramatic.
Anon dying,
Yeah.
offing himself on that goddamn ship, dude.
Yeah.
Was insane.
Yeah, but how you compare that to when like the uncle died in the first one, or when he got fucking thrown in jail?
Because it's different.
And even when he
It's
got
different
thrown in
times.
jail, and Zuko fucking betrays after all he did for him,
Yeah,
and he
dude,
fucking
that's
betrays us.
heartbreaking.
That fucking broke my heart more than that death.
Mind you, I'm not heartbroken over,
Yeah.
his death. I thought it was just deserved, but just the birth.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's gonna cry.
It's just, I feel like it had dark
Undertones. Yeah,
in
for
it.
sure.
Well, Korra was more. It wasn't like the first season at least.
Yeah.
Last Airbender was more kid.
Yeah.
Focus for kids.
Yeah.
But Korra started off as like a young adult.
And it just keeps
Yeah.
getting worse for
Yeah.
her.
And it's like
And
Spirit
worse.
World and all this. I don't know. I didn't really much care for the Spirit World either.
And
but-
honestly, I did kind of just start Korra because I wanted to know what happened to the kid. So, what was it, season 3,
Yeah.
where you see Toph again?
Yeah.
I
Old Lady Top.
Yeah,
I love
she's
Old Lady
amazing.
Top. Yeah.
Of course, she would end up alone in the forest.
That's
I mean,
the only way.
disappointed by that.
Hey, spoilers.
Oh, right. She's a badass, by the way.
Yeah. She's very Zatoichi, if you will.
Dude, and how you...
What?
Oh,
Another spoiler, Vin?
Yeah. No.
I'm not
No.
gonna spoil it.
Why are it then?
Worth the watch.
Worth the watch. Worth the. You know what? I'm gonna rewatch it for the 3rd time, all the way through again.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of have to do it every other year.
Every once in a while, it'd be nice. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty fun, man.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
enjoy
Pretty
it.
fun.
Yeah, from beginning, even Korra, I'll watch it all the way through.
Don't get me wrong, there's like a season where it kind of drags and you're like,
And for the podcast listeners, if they're
Oh, right.
wondering where they could stream this or watch this, where is this
I don't
available?
know.
Yeah.
Is it
Netflix,
Netflix?
right?
Netflix, I think it was Netflix last time I checked. Yeah.
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 We don't want to leave out our listeners.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
true.
think once those new movies come out, they're gonna be on Paramount Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look forward.
Another goddamn
Yeah.
platform
Fucking.
to-
Anyway, I got this thing called Plex.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
What
I'm
do
kind
you
of nervous
have?
for the movie though.
Yeah, I have no idea what's gonna happen there.
Something's gonna die in the movie. No.
No, don't say things like that.
What happened?
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because he had
What
his
happened?
grandson or something, right? Or like,
I thought you didn't have kids.
No, he did. He had he had some sort of descendant.
yeah, because there's that one guy in the army, right? His name is Iroh.
Iroh.
And it's like Sokka's some kind of descendant.
Yeah. He's a and they literally say, I think they say
Oh,
it's his
yeah.
or something. Yeah.
You see,
You need to
and
rewatch.
They just show a statue of them. They don't even.
Yeah,
talk
the
about
It has to be
yeah,
like his
yeah.
grandson, right? Because like Aang's son is like super old.
No,
So
it has to be. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, Gordo, Kingside Saucer, welcome you guys. That was great. Yeah, M Night Shyamalan. This became the M Night Shyamalan hour.
This is a very focused panel today. very
Yeah,
focused
yeah.
podcast.
We were here to
We're
discuss a
jumping all over
Kickstarter,
the
but
place.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
And there was
No,
M Night.
it's always cool to be on
Yeah,
this
no.
wonderful podcast.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, the Kickstarter starting August 16th,
Mm-hmm.
going till September 16th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So you have about a month. You have a month to kind of jump in,
yeah,
right?
Mhm.
yeah.
If you supported the first campaign, please consider supporting the second campaign.
maybe.
Issue number 3. Feel
Alright.
free to let your friends and family know.
Yeah.
Let your mom know.
Even just sharing it.
Let your mom, your
Yeah.
dad, your aunt, your uncle.
Yeah, because moms are really nice and stuff, and they like to give money away.
Moms are really
They
nice.
really are.
Let's take
Yeah.
a moment to appreciate mothers here.
Mm. That was nice. Thanks, mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to anyone still out there, thank you very much.
No, they're definitely still listening.
They still listening?
Go on.
Because we're an hour and a half now.
I think we can go for 2 hours.
You want to go for 2 hours? You guys want to go 2 hours?
Yeah.
I already know.
We should do one of these live one day. Have a call-in show.
You want to have a call-in show?
I
or-
would love that. I would love to answer some questions.
Well, we could do like Q&As like on like TikTok and all that other nonsense.
Why,
Like, yeah.
why does Gordo always wear cargo shorts?
Because it's hot in the desert.
But why does he wear the hoodie?
He's a weird
He's gotta
kid.
compensate for the.
Yeah, because when I was young and I was fat, I used to wear hoodies because I was
Yeah.
fat, you know. So hey,
Hides
Just
a little
saying.
bit, right?
Yeah, hides a
He
little
takes
bit.
it off, right?
No.
The second issue, right? Because,
Yeah.
They're walking in the desert,
Yeah.
it's too hot.
yeah.
You find it,
You know, I mean, even if it was hot, I would wear my hoodie.
Self-conscious
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the body a little
When
bit.
you're a teenager,
you know,
yeah,
little
yeah.
extra roll there, you know. You know, you go up a size, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So it's like, oh, he just likes wearing baggy
Yeah.
clothes. He's not
Even
that
to this
chubby.
day and age, even to this day and age, I also do that.
Yeah, he's not
exercise.
that
No,
chubby,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, no.
But then he takes off the sweater. You're like, oh, shit, he is that chubby.
Jelly rolls, baby boy. Yeah, he's got that torta belly. Mm.
I mean, he likes his sloppy joes, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he likes his sloppy joes.
I
man.
can't. Oh yeah.
And for some kids, it's hard, you know. I mean, we haven't even got into like, you know, this is something that we'll probably talk about, like Gordo in school.
Yeah.
Like, what is that like, right? It's like,
Cross my mind.
Yeah, they didn't cross your.
Oh my
He's
god.
gotta go to school one
I
point.
think, you know, what would be the
My
craziest thing
Yeah.
if we could do like a Gordo series and see how many issues we can go. Him never being in school,
Yeah.
right? And then
No,
have our
school.
and then and have our readers like, wait a minute, does this kid go to school?
Because
He's
what
homeschooled. He's
What is he
homeschooled.
gonna learn at school that
He
he's
can't learn
gonna
from
talk
Otto.
fucking space
From Otto.
shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's
Cece.
homeschooled.
His
man.
mom's a doctor. He could be homeschooled. You know, no
Yeah.
problem.
Although
you
I
know?
think the only reference we've had is that like his friend Tim is his friend from school.
Oh.
Tim's definitely homeschooled, dude.
Right.
He
Yeah,
has
yeah,
his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The way he talks to government employees, definitely homeschooled.
Homeschooled.
Dude. The confidence, yeah.
That would make
Makes
the
sense.
argument that this first arc is either during the summer
Yeah.
or it's a long weekend. Right?
I've always been under the same inclination as well. Like,
It's a
you know,
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
and
So
shit.
one day, dude.
One day.
All of that has happened. in
And
one
this goes
day.
to just goes to show you, like, when you're creating and writing and like drawing, it's just like you're so like invested in what's going on in that scene
Yeah.
that sometimes you're forgetting about like Gordo when he was 5 years old, or Gordo when he was 7 years old, or
At this point, yeah, you figured there is still more backstory to
Of
him. You know,
course, of course.
there's Gordos and diapers somewhere along the back lines.
and
yeah.
that comes up. That comes up.
yeah.
That comes
So,
up.
that comes in.
Damn, I nailed it.
We're-
Last minute.
Issue 4, right? Issue 4.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out about some family
Dirty.
members,
Yeah.
Gordo, that have very important roles in this.
Dirty
universe.
diapers. Interesting.
It gets pretty wild,
All
man.
right. So this is what people have been looking forward to. 1 month to fucking pitch in for this Kickstarter.
Yeah, exactly. We
All
got
right.
1 month. We need you to turn out. Let everybody know.
I'll let Memo know.
We definitely want to crush that 65 backers on the first one. So support us, and we promise you to give you the best comic we can.
Yeah.
I can do that thing where like, oh, the first 10 subscribers will get this automatically.
We talked about it. We talked about it.
Possible. We did that little time to figure that
Yeah.
out. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get
Maybe.
this nice
Yeah.
little thermos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a fucking tote bag.
A tote bag.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You gotta support El
See-
Gordo
See,
Kickstarter.
that's the best part of this whole thing. Is that Valeria is the biggest Gordo fan there is.
You can't dip into your own shit. Can't get high in your own
Dude,
supply.
I'll double dip into it.
Dangerous.
No, I'm the same way, because if there was, well, there is going to be a Gordo shirt. Just a reminder, will be
Yeah.
available on the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I want Gordo shirts. I want
Hats.
Gordo socks. Valeria made us these custom Gordo caps, right?
Yeah,
Those are
yeah,
still awesome. I always rock it at every kind of event and signing we do. But I would want the logo on a beanie. I want it on everything.
On everything, huh?
I want like a neon green pen that just says Gordo the Teenage
with the
Flying
little
Saucer.
spaceship on
I want a
top.
CC pen and like that
Glow in
kind
the
of.
dark.
What's the specific color? Like what is it? What
It's
is it?
like a teal.
Like a teal, like indigo,
Yeah.
right? I want a teal indigo pen that says CC on it. Right?
Yeah.
I just want
I
our
want it all.
characters all over
Yeah.
merch.
We've been talking about little figures, right? Figures for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8
My-
inches.
You know what I would love to do?
Huh.
Again, hopefully this excites anybody that's listening and kind of supports us, because I know the bigger the comics get, the more supporters we get. We can do kind of crazy stuff that we want to do. Remember those little muscle figures from back in the day
Muscle,
from
yeah.
the 25-cent machine? Like
Yeah.
I would love to have a little Gordo, a little CC, right? And those, remember it was like kind of flesh
Yeah.
colored
Yeah.
sometimes, orange. Because that would be cool, because then you could have your readers or your fans color them themselves or paint them themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Action figures, I would love to do a
Yeah,
Gordo
yeah.
in action figure one
You
time.
know, I used to do those.
Plushies.
Yeah.
I used to do those muscle ones. I used to
Yes.
actually like put them in my mouth and chew them.
You can chew on.
What about homies? Did you collect homies?
I did, and those were like only the head. I
Those
chew
are
on
harder,
the,
right?
I
Yeah,
would
they're
collect
harder.
the homies, but I would collect the homies' dogs.
Oh,
yeah,
the
yeah.
pit bulls and
They're
stuff.
so
Yeah.
cute.
They're all pit bulls.
No, there isn't. No.
She's schooling
I'm
you.
gonna
She's
look for
alright.
them and I'm
Yeah.
gonna show you guys.
Okay.
I just wanted to know more about these
Yeah.
bandana wearing dogs, dude. They're the best.
Well, you should bring them to the live episode when we do,
I'ma
so you
do
can
it.
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
them
People
on
are-
air.
In there. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of ideas for future campaigns. We want to make a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
So we're there.
Almost.
Almost. All right.
Almost.
Issue number 4. Let's
Issue
go.
number 4.
Okay.
No, number
No,
three.
number three.
And
Yeah.
then 4.
Oof. Oh man.
You're jumping the gun. You're
I love
jumping the
that.
gun.
It's a
You
hard
want the
part.
spoilers for issue 4? Go for it. Go for it. No.
Should we
Wait,
give
wait,
him?
not, what do you call that?
Spoiler free?
Spoiler-free spoilers?
No. What's spoiler
Well,
free?
It's a
Spoiler?
certain name for it.
Spoiler-free spoilers?
Yeah, like you can say
Spoiler-free.
something happened, yes.
Without
but
saying
not
it's gonna happen.
detailed.
The thing is, I get way too excited, and I don't want to say something, and
can
then we all get
allude.
mad. And then
You know
like,
what? In
my
that
God,
case,
it's
don't
just-
say anything.
Okay,
Let's not say anything. Let's not say anything.
Unless Pete's comfortable revealing
They all
something.
die.
Damn.
And then we will relaunch with a brand new number 1.
With lenticular covers.
Right.
Glow in the dark.
Glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh
What do they call
my.
it? Game?
Trifold or
Trifold. No, the one with the little card on the side, the hollow
Gatefold.
foil.
Gatefold. Yeah.
Comes with a card.
And we're joking around now,
Yeah.
but I think Pete and I would love to do all those classic gimmicks, like the hollow foil, the chromium,
Yeah.
the
You guys are a bunch of crazy.
debossed,
Yeah.
embossed,
No.
die cut.
Die cut, yeah.
Die cut.
Remember that famous, that old school Wolverine
Okay.
cover with the
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would be really cool, stuff like that.
Like it'd be like, oh, someone with a hole in there, then it'd be a hole, then you open it up and it goes into the
Yes,
story.
yes.
Yeah.
See,
You know-
go ahead.
And you know what's funny too? Like, so we wanted to tease the Javier cover,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't have anything to tease it with. So I literally just put the 2 logos, the El Muerto logo and the Gordo logo,
Yeah.
and people were like,
Is that
Gordo
it?
dying?
Oh, shit.
Are you doing Death of Gordo?
Maybe.
Maybe.
You should have got the flag, the Superman flag, kind of, and just put that out there
With-
too,
with
with the
hoodie on
Gordo
the-
hoodie and the mat. Yeah, it'd been great. You know, and
Yeah.
CC holding him like a, you know, Jimmy
Yeah,
Olsen
that
taking a
classic
picture.
Crisis on Infinite Earth
Yeah.
where Superman is
holding-
holding Supergirl,
It's,
screaming.
Is he holding Gordo?
Yeah, don't get us started because again, I'm always talking about Pete doing
Alternate
homage
universe.
covers.
Homage.
Hominage. That's funny.
Yeah, but there's a lot of weird stuff, man. The dark timelines.
Yeah.
I am so please. Let's
Do they all have goatees and mustaches?
Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh no!
Timeline.
It just we can't say, right?
No, we can't.
You can't. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. Throw the name out. It's cool.
Don't worry.
It's cool. Yeah.
You say. If you want to do it, reveal it.
There's a dark timeline. The main character is called the Butcher. That's
No.
all you need to know.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, it's dark.
It's the mom.
It's dark.
See again with no spoilers. I think Gordo. Well, not say. I know Gordo's like all ages, family friendly. But you know what I do love about like comics is that certain characters kind of evolved and grow.
Yeah.
Not saying that we're going to age Gordo to age 35. Maybe we might see. Maybe we might see an older Gordo.
Make
Yeah.
it more relatable.
But we do want Gordo to kind of mature and grow, and we want him to kind of deal with bigger and bigger threats. So it comes to the point where he may not be able to handle them alone, right? Even with his best friends, his partners like CC, so he's gonna have to go take some drastic measures, right?
Yeah.
So I think we will at some point see a little bit more mature take on Gordo and his stories because at some point he's just not gonna be this kid that just discovered the UFO powers. At some point he's gonna be fighting intergalactic despots and like threats. So it's really fun. I think what we're kind of all cooking up here, and in some ways we get more excited about issue 75, which is still a long way to go. This is why we need your support again. Kickstarter issue number 3. Support us, back us, because we got some really cool, fun, interesting stories to tell.
Yeah, there's times when I'll send them pages, and then he's like, "What's this for?" I'm like, "Oh, like 25, 30."
Oh my God.
Yeah, random scenes.
It's
Sometimes
just like I gotta get out of my head.
Yeah. Why is Gordo 86 in here?
Right?
Hey, did he share with them?
No.
How did he know about
Gordo 86, 80 years old.
That's the title. Gordo 86.
Yeah, be fun stuff.
The Last Crusade. That's fun. All right. Anything else you guys want to get off your chest before we get off?
Anything you want to plug or
Plug.
shill or
it's the Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
Right now. It's you can find information on teenageflyingsaucer.com and all the social media is Teenage Flying Saucer.
Okay.
Or even come and get volume 1 and 2 at Nostalgics.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
Gabriel's best.
And then
Best. Comic Saga.
Yeah, go ahead and support Nostalgic Comics. Come and pick up issue 1 and 2 if you haven't. We would love to meet you here. And also, I want to do a shout out real quick to Javier. Thank you for doing that variant cover. I love it.
Great job.
And what did the other store that has this right now is Heidi Ho Comics.
Oh yes,
Is
Heidi
there
Ho Comics will do a shout out. We'll probably make an announcement on social media about that, right?
Once it's ready to go. All right. We're going live.
All in the future.
All in the future. All by yourselves. All right, cool.
Voice.
That's
That was
good.
Cruz, by the way. I'm not going to take credit for
no,
that.
it's all you. Anyway, anything else then?
No,
That's it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you very much for listening. It's been an hour and 40 some odd minutes, and I really appreciate it.
And I Shyamalan.
My Shyamalan's the
And
best.
Night.
He's on back.
Live.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back.
I don't think he ever went anywhere.
You think M. Night could do a Gordo movie?
Yes.
I mean, is he going to do what he
Butcher.
what he did to Avatar?
Then me.
Where he's going to cram all 100 issues in one movie?
We could do it with some.
M. Night
ideas.
listening, make it happen.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. Good night, good morning, and good afternoon.
I'm not gonna lie, probably just watch it. Even if it's a dream.